Good afternoon, council members. How are you? Um, Welcome to CEC28's calendar meeting for November 2023. Today is November 2nd, 2023. We are going to get started in approximately 2 minutes. Thank you all for your patience and for being here. We'll be getting started really quickly. So Simone, I'm going to ask, can someone mute? Whose is that? What?
This one.
Was you? No. Simone, can you do today? Can you keep a check of the chat feature for who's going to speak? And keep a list, and you'll send me a list of the speakers. Dorinda, how do we do the speaker things to work? Are they hearing me clearly on the screen?
You can think you can unmute here.
Hey team, community, can you hear me? Are you able to hear me? If you give me a thumbs up very quickly on your screen or somewhere to say you're hearing me or out there. Let me see the gallery view. Okay, I see a thumb. Okay, Bruce said thumbs up. Awesome, perfect. You know, we are still getting used to the whole, virtual hybrid stuff, and it'll never be perfect, but we're getting there. So let me just check with council members 1 second, then we'll get started. Okay, good afternoon. The time now is 6:40 p.m. We just gave our community a few minutes to come in and to be present. So we know it's a school night. It's a report card conference night. You all know that, right? So we all did that this evening with our children, and we heard some great news, some news that we need to improve, etc. But it was a good night. Either way, we are grateful that we have that communication with our teachers. So my name is Vijay Ramjathan. I'm the CC president for the 28, and we're so happy that so many of you are here. But I'm more excited with my council members, all of them who are here tonight with us, and some of who's virtually. I'm so grateful for this team of wonderful parents who are elected by you to represent you, to do the hard work on the back end, to make sure your concerns, the constituents, all the stakeholders in this community, that your concerns are addressed, and we elevate your simple and complex concerns to the levels that we have to address them. So with that, I say good night. And before we go any further, I would like to ask our first vice president to please do the roll call.
President, which are President.
Here.
First, Vice President Lu Zhao here. Second Vice President Narang Svapna.
Here.
Recording Secretary Natifa Lewis.
You're going to need to say here, right? So the recording.
Yeah, I'm here.
You
Okay.
need to say here, please.
You can try this one. You mute that one.
Let me come back later. Treasurer Utah Chen.
Here.
Member Jaylin.
Here.
Member Julie Su.
Here.
Member Quentin Mozentin.
Here.
Member Simone Dunbar.
Present.
Member Adriana Alicia,
Here.
member JK Kalinaram.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. We come back to Natifa. Can
I'm
Natifa-
able to unmute now. Can you hear
Latifa is
me?
on, she's on
Okay,
virtual, so she's present.
Okay, right. So we are full house today.
Full house today. Look at that. We are getting there. It's turkey season. That's why it's Thanksgiving season. So the council members think we're giving out free turkey tonight, so they all came. That's what happened. They all came on the building. You know, that's what happens. You know. Oh, but my friends, we want to welcome you to our council's meeting every month. We meet here once a month, the first Thursday of every month, at 6:30 p.m. And as you know, the state law dictates that now we have to meet hybrid. That fancy word all it means is that we have to be in person here at the district office, and we also have to have a virtual platform that all of you join also. And I want to let you know that we do support a virtual, 100% virtual platform, because we felt that this is how we met most families. If that's one thing that worked during the pandemic, it was having a virtual platform to meet families where they were and are. And even the council members, because they're all parents also. And it's quite a struggle to be here also in person, but we are here. We have a very tight, packed agenda for tonight's meeting, which is we did a lot of work, a lot of time planning to make sure we have these individuals present at our meeting, and we have a tight window of who can. So who we select to present to you, the public, and the council members, it's by choice who we choose to be here to present. So we're going to be asking all of our presenters to make sure you can unmute, make sure you have your slides ready. You have 5 to 7 minutes to present. And we ask for that because we want to be equitable in terms of timing that we give presentations, but more importantly, to leave enough time for the community, the parents, and the stakeholders to ask questions and make comments. And I want to say I'm so happy today. We have a lot of folks, like 20 of them, like 30 of them, wow, present today in person. It's full in here, and it's amazing. More if you could come in person here with us too. We even have our wonderful principal, Hasbury Robert Signal from 140, who is here, who is no stranger to this room. She's always here present, and she's live on both places, on her phone and in person. So we're gonna ask her to, if you can lower the volume on that, that'd be great. So folks, the district office is here once a month. We are here. Please do come out and support us here once a month. We're going to be asking our amazing council member, Adriana, to make an announcement about a chat feature. Adriana, go for it.
Good evening, everyone. The chat feature is open and we encourage participation and respectful discourse. If at any point the chat becomes unruly or conversations become disrespectful, we will have to close the chat. Also, we will be taking names for our list of speakers until 8 p.m. Please put in the chat the word speak and we will record it. Thank you.
So we're going to be asking our Councilman Simone Dornbach to tell us how the chat, how the speaker situation works. Simone?
So just put in your name and speak, and I will record it. Should I forget or miss you, please let me know, and then I will include you in the speakers list. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Here, once you put the word speak there, we'll see that, and in the order in which you put the word speak, that's how we'll call you in a public comment. To all those who are here, to all 40 of you who are here tonight, it's growing. You please, if there's a sign-in sheet back there and there's a speaker sheet, if you want to speak or make a comment, how it will work, it will give the persons who are here in person to speak first, and then we'll one-on-one, one in person, one in virtual, and then we'll take it that way. We also hold all questions to the end of all the presentations, and then you will get a chance to ask a question to all the presenters at that point in time. So without further ado, I would like to call our amazing acting superintendent, someone who is doing the who is, I've heard great things. A lot of principals has told me already that, oh, the superintendent is coming to my school. He came last week. He's not coming next. And I love to hear that. I'm happy hearing that our acting superintendent, Dr. Blake, is doing the He's not sitting in the office here and dictating, but he's in the field. He is going there, understanding the schools, getting to know the schools and the students and parents and teachers, and seeing what this makeup of this district looks like. That's the only place you need to be, and to really see it from that perspective. We also have our deputy superintendent, Dr. Hall, who is here. Can we please make them both a co-host? Can we make Sonia Roweda a co-host and Mr. Jimenez, if he's here on board, a co-host as well? Because their feedback and their input is also valuable to this process here, because we are partners with our district office, and in D28 we are one. We are one team. We are on this together. So without further ado, Dr. Blake, I'll ask you to please take it away. Go for it.
Just want to say good night to the families and all the community members who have come out, the leaders, UFT, as well as the fellow principals, and as I said, it's very important, and the parents. So I'll just start the presentation with sharing with you some of our data points. Are you seeing it, the presentation? All right, so this is just in the interest of time that our vision as a community, District 28, is to celebrate all the differences. Definitely, we understand that this diversity is a beautiful thing, and it is very prominent in this District 28. And I'm really enjoying the community, my trips to the schools, the various functions. I was at various functions at different schools in the community. We have a family night with almost 300 families came out, and we had a very good time with serving the kids. I was literally rolling up my sleeves, serving the students cake and all the good thing about the family literacy night. Our district, of course, is based on pushing the self-efficacy paradigm, which is the belief that if we support all our students and our leaders and our school leaders with maximum effort, they will enable the students to achieve at the highest level. So I'm really pushing that as a theory of action. District 28 is committed to strengthening the quality and alignment of leadership, instructional, budgetary, personnel, all the different operations, and to support our student. So we're looking into student support services, especially now we have quite a number of newcomers. We have to be, open our arms to educate all students who come within our district. So that's very important. The goal is to have literacy, to enable every kid in the district, every child, by the time they reach grade level, they should be able to read at grade level or above grade level. And if that's not the case, then we'll have to do some interventions to really help those students, the multi-language learners, and especially students with needs, with IEPs. Let's look at our data set, because I know the district loves data. We did very well last year. We moved our ELA scores from 53.9 to 58.1%. And my goal this year is to put it into the 60s. Our math scores increased phenomenally from 46% to 57.3%. So this is a great emphasis on literacy. It also helps in the mathematics as well. Our attendance, our district continues to be in need of, to try to get rid of the chronic absenteeism gap. But we have done very well. We have moved from 90 to 90.4. And my aim for next year is to go at least into 91. And we are really seeing incremental gains in the attendance. Please, we want the kids to be in school, and we want to help our families to get the kids in school. In our group, we look at students with, SWD means students with disabilities, but students with IEPs, I would say, or students who learned a little differently. We still move those students from 21.5 proficiency to 31%. And in math, that was in math. In ELA, we moved from 19.9 to 24.6. ENL, English as a native language, math, we increased from 14 to 19%. This is the only drop. We'll drop a little bit in the ELA. In English language learners, decreased from 12 to 1, which is just a very, very minimal decrease. But our goal is to have those trends in the upward trajectory. The goal, of course, these are the measurable goals we have. I won't touch on all of them, but by 2024, we're open to increase, as I said, to move it from 57 to 62%. We have to get in the 60s, and that's my aim and that's my push. It will take a lot of work, but I'm willing to do the work. I've started the work already. And of course, our leaders, our principals, especially who are on tonight, can attest to the fact that we are very supportive of our leaders in the school to enable our kids to do very well. So look at students with individualized education plans. We're looking at those students in particular, and of course, our multi-language learners. We have been having already quite a number of these students in our district, our newcomers. They said about 6,300 in New York City. Queens alone, we have 3,000 or more kids in our district because of the various shelters. And the sad thing about it, when we welcome these children, after a while, because of this 90-day or 60-day rule, the kids and the families go elsewhere and we sort of kind of lose them. But we are trying our best to have some stability around those students. Then we looked at our target population. We spoke about dateline and make very smart goals, smart, achievable and measurable goals are what will get us there. We look at specific targets. This is just a drill down at the different grade levels, grade 3 to 8 for the different subject area. Baseline assessments, very important. So this is just a little about where the priority, the district comprehensive education plan. That's priority number 3. Priority number 4 is to look at the elementary schools, K through 5, and of course our middle schools 6 through 8, where all the students in our district will be achieving. That's my goal, is to really allow them to achieve at grade level and to exceed so that they can be best prepared for their next phase in life, the next ready level. That for many of them is going to be middle school, and for the middle school it's going to be high school, and then for college, career, and beyond, because we're getting these students ready. And we'll talk to you a little more about the STEM focus in our district. We're having STEM right across B28 and across all the schools. STEM is very, very important to get kids really ready, career and college ready, to get a sense of the real world before they even leave our elementary schools. And then we spoke about the priority number 5 is to increase minority women in business, to really look at the different range and make sure, because this is a chancellor's initiative, and we also push it. Last year we moved from 30 to 32. My goal is to move from 32 to 40 to utilize all different business so that everybody can represent the diversity in the community in District 28. So we talk about resource allocation, we're talking about grants, we're writing grants, getting ready, we're trying to solicit help from politicians to really get our fair share in the district. And you'll see later on some pictures I've engaged in quite a number of elected officials. And these are some of the details. I don't want to spare the details about that. We'll get back to that in terms of the specificity. But we're talking about technology, we're trying to leverage partnerships with the NAACP. They're really leading this STEM charge across the district, collaborating with teachers to advance STEM instructional practices in the classroom and even in our K through 5. It's very, very important, not just the middle school, but STEM has to be very much entrenched. And I've come to the district and I've seen the work. I'm from a STEM school as well, that they've done very well, and I've created partnerships where our principals will be going on trips to the Brooklyn Navy Yard to really look at best practices and see how we can bring those into District 28. This is some of the initiatives. The Chancellor, I would just welcome the Chancellor Banks, to my school. They chose one of our schools in our district, and this was really beautiful to see how the children, he was very, very impressed with the visit at 101, PS 101, where the kids did so very well in having a nice little station, and they really show off their best practices. So these are some of the pictures and the highlights of the visit. And of course, my best part is to interact with the children. Very, very important. And as I said, we're taking elected officials, and of course, Schulman was there, as council member was there, and we're taking them right across the range of the district, not just in the northern schools, but I've already made arrangements for our and other elected officials to be in the schools in the south as well. Right across the district, we are one district, and I want success for every school in this district that I'm leading. So those are some of the pictures, and basically I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what we are doing. As VJ said at the beginning, there's never a day that I'm not out there really doing the work of the district and really trying to solve issues. Parental concerns are elevated to me. I talk to the parents, and we continue to to do the best, because at the end of the day, we want to do what's best for our children. Treat the children well, and they will remain in school. So we want our schools to be welcoming and safe environment where our kids really thrive, not just survive, but thrive. So basically that is the overall of the presentation. I just want to say to you, thanks for the, for really looking in, and you can ask further questions. Tonight is my worship night, but I'll be on with you for another like 30 minutes. But my deputy will be right on to, to answer any questions, and you can always feel free, as you have been doing, to reach out to me and at the district office. So I want to thank you very much for listening to this presentation, and definitely be hanging around for the rest of the most part of the meeting. So I want to thank you very much and have a great night.
Thank you so much, Dr. Blake. I guess one quick question I want to ask you is that as you go around the district, because a lot of the principals has let me know, like as you went around, that they were so happy to see you there in their schools, and what a big impact it was to really have you walk through their schools. And that's noticed, that's welcome, that's love. Even my son's class that you went into in one of his schools, he's like, Daddy, the superintendent's coming tomorrow. They were so excited, the superintendent is coming. So and I brought them today to the meeting over here, and like, oh, this is his building. Like, this is his building. You're a celebrity.
They'll see me first in person.
Yes. But I guess my question to you before we move on to the next item on our agenda is, what you coming as a newcomer to our district, not education, of course, right? What have you seen that stood out to you the most in our district?
Well, there's so many promising practices in the district that really, really, really can be scaled at other schools. What I've seen though is the disproportionality. You have some schools are really thriving with resources, and you have other schools that are sort of in want of resources. So my job is to sort of equalize the resources, especially around best instructional practices. So what I've done already, and the principals can attest to that, what I've done is to create what I call level groups, where principals from every part of the district will be doing intervisitation, so they could learn best practices and bring it back to their school. And another thing is to try to create a sort of rich curriculum that every school can be exposed to. So those are the things that are a little disproportionality and inequity, which I like to really, to bridge that gap. And the next thing I've seen, which is really, really, it's excited, is about having students as a center of the instruction, not just talking down to students, but allowing the students to be a part of the instruction. That could also be pulled across every school in the district to make a difference.
Thank you so much. And it's promising. It's a good step in the right direction. I think really having the boots on the ground and being present in the schools really shows a true partnership in this, because it takes all of us, right? And we are here also with you. So thank you for what you do. I'll definitely also want to acknowledge and also highlight and really showcase our amazing, deputy superintendent. She is someone who I really look up to in terms of her personality and what she brings this positive light to what you do. And I really want to highlight and let you know we appreciate that and we acknowledge that. Dr. Hall, can you please say hi?
Thank you, President VJ. Community of leaders, I just want to say hello. Thank you for being here. I like to say that we are all leaders when we join on this call, because we're here in service of our children. So thank you. And I just want to echo Dr. Blake's sentiments around the resources in our district and the best practices that we see. And doing PPOs, we've been in schools every day for the past few weeks, and we're able to see bright spots in every single school, and also some areas of growth that we're being very strategic around giving school leaders feedback on and their school communities. So thank you.
Thank you so much for what you do. And the reason why I want to let you know I highlight the district office is that oftentimes you community, when you reach out to the CEC for concerns, we'll tell you these are things that we could take care of, and the rest of it, and most of the time, we have to work in partnership with the district office to get things done. It's not us bullying them or they bullying us, but we work together to resolve your situations, because who's going to benefit? The students. So I want you to see the faces of the people, to get to know them. They're not far away. They're right here on Jamaica Avenue and Sutton Boulevard, but they have friendly, loving faces. So get to know the leaders in your community. Thank you, Dr. Hall. Thank you, Dr. Blake. We really appreciate you being here. So folks, we have our next item in our agenda here tonight, but the person is not here right now. So we're going to be moving down to our next item on the agenda. And we have an open seat in our council. And we have to interview these two potential candidates, these two candidates in person for you, the community, to see who they are. And ultimately, the council will be voting at our business meeting on who we choose to be the person on the council. But you, the community, needs to see also these candidates, and then we can make our decisions on who we're gonna be putting on this very important seat. Because having one of these seats on the council is a big responsibility, but an important position in the community of leadership as leaders in our community. So at this point in time, I'm going to be asking our candidates to please unmute yourself. Latifa is here with us, and I just want to say that she is not in town, but she is joining us still. Latifa, are you able to unmute? Let's see.
Yes, I am. Are you able to hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay.
Thank you for being here, still being here, even though you are going through what you're going through, but we're happy you're here, and we are thankful. Really quickly, are you going to be asking any of the questions? We try to reach out to you, but we didn't get a response. Because we shared a whole thing.
I'm sorry?
We already you want to ask one? Yes, I'll call on you to ask do you have the questions with you?
I did not. I can pull it up right now. I just changed my machine. I just changed back to my laptop.
So
Yes,
we'll stick with what we planned here for those who are in person, and we'll just continue that way. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. So the two candidates, can you please can we spotlight the first one? Can you please unmute, say hi really quickly?
Hi, my name is Lorraine Fontenelle, and
Great. And the next candidate, Tanya?
Hi, my name is Tanya Wendt.
Excellent. So what we're going to do, we'll be asking each of you to make a quick introduction of yourself to the council, to the community. You'll have, so for each question, each time you're going to speak, you have 2 minutes each, up to 2 minutes, but you don't have to be full 2 minutes, okay? So feel free to do so. And we have a series of 6 questions. We'll be asking each of you the same question, and each of you will get a chance to answer it. And if we ask Tanya the first question, and she answers first, then we'll ask Maureen the next question, and she answers first. So we take turns in equity in that way. So Tanya, can you please introduce yourself to the community?
Sure, my name is Tanya Wendt. I am a parent at PS 144. I also sit on the Parents Association board there as a co-communication secretary. I am also on SLT at my school, and previously I was the chair of our Inclusion and Diversity Committee at PS 144. I am the mom of a 3rd grade daughter who attends 144. I am not originally from Forest Hills, but moved here about 20 years ago. It's the only place in New York I've ever called home. And I am a full-time auditor as a job now. And yeah, I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me this evening. Thank you.
Thank you for applying. We appreciate you applying for this position in the CEC. Thank you. Next, we'll be asking Maureen. You have 2 minutes to please tell us about yourself.
great, thank you so much. So my name is Lorraine Fontenelle. I have 2 beautiful sons. One has attended PS 108Q. He's now in college in his 2nd year studying environmental science. However, but while at PS 108, I served 2 years as a PTA president, 3 years on the SLT board, and 6 to 7 years in learning leaders. My eldest son is 20 years old, and he will be leaving school next year, heading on to a special program. He is a 6 to 1 to 1. He has autism. And we're in the process right now of applying to college for him. We've found a few schools that do have programs for them. So I'm in the process of doing that. But for about 9 years, I served in the SLT board in District 75 there. I also serve alongside CEC for a number of times. And basically, I'm out in the community. It's not the profession that I chose. Starting out, I went to school to do research in biology, and that's where I got my degree. And he changed my life. So my entire world began to be around trying to get resources in for families who are struggling, not only English speaking, but those who are just trying to get the language itself. And this has become my career, my career. I did step away about 6 years ago. I said I would take a break, but then right after that, I ended up back again on the civil engagement with the borough president and some other places. So it's as if it just keeps following me. So if I do get the opportunity, I'll be very happy to serve Tanya, and she sounds really great. So I will also be part of her future. So.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to ask Mr. Gurumurthy to say hi really quickly. He's our timekeeper. So it's not some random person saying, stop, I want you to know who he is. He's one of the council members. So say hi, Mr. Gurumurthy. It's on mute. There it is.
Hi, my name is Gurumurthy Kilyanara. I'm just running the clock here. And Maureen, you were 15 seconds, you had more to speak, but you can. But good, thank you. Thank you.
So he's our
Just
Mr. Gurumurthy is our newest council member who joined. So he knows how the clock works. That's why he's on clock time today, because we had a time frame for him. So our first question will be by our second vice president. Her name is Nuran, and she's going to be asking you. And after that, so Maureen, you're going to have up to 2 minutes to answer that question, and then the same question for you, Tanya. And you can ask us to repeat the question also. Council members, please take note, because we're going to be asking you to vote at the end, including myself, a business meeting for which candidate you would like to be sitting amongst yourself on the council. And we have a very thorough process. So please take a note about your candidate and why you want to sit on the board as your notes. So, Nuran, over to you.
Thank you, Vijay. Hi, everyone. So, in your own words, sorry, lots of echo. So, in your own words, why do you want to be a member of CEC28?
Okay, so CEC28, I believe, is a group of people who, and I love the way the young lady said it earlier. They come in their own strength. They come in their own field. They bring in expertise together for a common good for our kids. So we have a wide variety of kids who need support. Maybe minor support, great support, more support than others. They may be gifted and talented, but we come together as a unit with our own expertise, leave our title at the door, and we're able to work together to bring the greater good, to see what our community needs, our school needs, and even with our own teachers as well, to prep them the best we can so that they're able to meet those needs before they hit those critical years. And I would love to be a part of a team that is doing that and to contribute if I'm given the opportunity.
Thank you.
Tanya?
Yeah, so I would like to be a member of CEC. I feel as I've gone through my experience in the New York Public City school system with my daughter, kind of built upon SLT board and kind of as CEC is kind of the next step up, kind of a bigger, broader picture in order to make sure, try to help and ensure that the whole entire district is getting what they need. I feel like, CEC is really the place where we help ensure that all kids and families are heard and they're getting the resources that they need to meet the potential that they have. So I feel like this is the kind of forum and space to kind of bring together, the various voices and help out.
Thank you so much. I want to remind the public that the reason why we're having this candidate interviews in public is we want your feedback too. So in the chat feature, the community, you, the public, can write feedbacks on the chat feature here, and the council members are looking and reading your feedback as well as we make our decisions also. So our next question will be by our treasurer. His name is Utah.
Hi, candidates. How are you tonight? So as you can probably see from the screen and the diverse background, District 28 is a very diverse district in terms of both socioeconomic status, political views, ethnicity, school scores, and a lot of school programming as well. If selected as a council member, how would you aim to provide broad-based support to elevate the concerns of all families, even if they do not mirror your own views or own background.
Tanya, you go first.
Yeah, so it's one of the great things about Queens and where we live, right? It's super diverse. It's certainly different from where I grew up in the Midwest. And I think in order for individuals on the CEC to really ensure that everybody's heard, it takes us visiting schools like you all do and sitting in on PA calls and PTA calls and going to SLTs and really taking those things that you see and hear in the schools that you visit to heart and being an advocate for those schools and bringing them back and taking them seriously. There was a district-wide push, last year for co-locations, right, of Success Academy. And we all kind of came together as a district to decide what to do about those. We kind of all helped uplift each other. So even people in my part of the district, in the northern part of the district, were felt the impact of it and tried to help and lend our support and to ensure that that didn't happen. So I think this is the forum, the great place where we can come together and help spread the word to various schools that may not be on these calls and may not be joining, but can certainly be impacted by things happening within the district.
Thank you, Tanya. Maureen, do you want us to repeat the question?
No, that's okay. I do agree with Tanya with the points that she brought up. I can mention some of the things that we've used in the past. And one of the feedbacks we received at PS 108 with our students going out is that they had difficulty transitioning schools. And so having a back system that let us know what the needs are, we're able to adapt within the system to accommodate us so the transition is easy. So one of the things we did at PS 108 was we introduced interdepartmentalization way back then, before it was popular. So things like this we use, and we take the feedback, we hear what's happening, we visit, we see what it is, and we try to find a program so that our kids will have the opportunity. Now we're doing CEC28, and it's a much wider, so which means we have more groundwork. We have to be on the ground. We have to have those meetings. We have to bring in those folks who have ideas and want to propose those ideas, see how that benefits us. That's something we have also used. For the children with disability, we have brought in folks who had different ideas, technologies, and other things they wanted to introduce. We explore, see how that works for us, if it's a part of what we want to do right now, if that will support what we want to do. We explore. So it's a lot of groundwork, a lot of trial, and also getting like minds together. So we connect. Resource connection is network is the way it goes, and we get those resources, see what works, give it a try for a certain time. So we have enough time to collect data and to be able to properly assess whether our goals were met, and then go back to the board again.
Thank you so much. I want to remind the public that the chat feature is where you can provide support or feedback to the council members on these candidate interviews. So please feel free to use the chat feature and give us feedback there as well. So our next question will be by Councilmember Quentin Mezetin. And then Maureen, you will go first this time.
You guys can hear me well?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. How would you use your professional and experience background to further consensus-based parent initiatives on the council?
Okay, so
yes.
Thank you so much.
You want me to repeat that?
Yes, thank you for that question.
No
So,
problem. It was a little hard to say too. How would you use your professional and experience background to further consensus-based parent initiatives on the council?
One of the things that I am doing right now, even without being on the council itself, is that the avenue that I have gives me exposure. I do a lot of work in the community now for the last 20 years. We've been working in the community in different areas because of the connection I have and affiliation with different organizations, and so that allow me to be able to reach a wide audience and to get them more engaged. So for instance, some parents really didn't know that at a particular grade they have to apply for specialized exams or things like that. So we help them in this way. We provide a venue in which we are able to reach a wide variety, get these parents involved, let them understand what is happening. Even now, as I sit on the Bar President's CEC, I'm able to bring it in whenever there are resources being offered, so that they're able to hear in that meeting some of these resources, advantage of it. So even without being on the CEC, this is what I have been doing. And like I said, autism has pushed me in a new career, basically. So I would continue that.
Thank you, Tanya.
Yeah, so I began my career actually in a nonprofit space, and so I have a little bit of background with teaching, and so I have familiarity with schools on that side of the coin, as well as, of course, being a parent. And I think the job that I have, oftentimes projects are, come across my desk that require my team to come up with kind of new ideas or new ways of doing things. And of course, when we do that, then people have to come up with a strategy of how we're going to solve this particular problem. And we often have to come to kind of an agreed upon, procedures and things we're going to do. We have to kind of build a consensus of who's going to do what and how is it going to be done. And so that, of course, can be challenging. And, there's strong personalities, including my own sometimes. And so you really have to try to work together to kind of come to a common ground. And I think, finding commonalities within a group, getting to know your team, listening, making sure everyone's got a chance to speak and has being heard, trying to be open-minded. And, sometimes it takes bending and giving and compromising a bit in order to kind of build consensus. So you're not always going to win every battle, but hopefully you can kind of come to some common ground to get things moving and moving forward.
Thank you so much. And thank you both for your patience and being on it. I appreciate it. We're getting things done here. So next we're going to have a question by Councilmember Julie. Julie Shaw.
Okay.
Can you all unmute everyone? Within your minute.
Right. I think you answered some of the next question, but give an example of a specific time or event where consensus was required, but the majority viewpoint differed from your own. Tell us about the situation. What did you do? How did you personally advance the group to a unified decision?
That's a lot of 2 minutes, just, but Tanya, you go first.
Okay, I think if I heard it correctly, you're saying that I was in the minority of the opinion, but somehow we still made, okay, got it. Yeah, again, I think I would go back to work situations in which, kind of my idea is not the one that, was the one that was accepted and was used. Again, like I said earlier, you have to sometimes bend and give and compromise, and it's not always great. And it's clearly not a great position to be in if you're the one that's not on the losing end of it. But in order to move things forward, sometimes you have to concede a bit. And of course, you have to, in a work situation is a little different than maybe CEC when we're working with our kids and we feel very passionately about something. But, again, it's really that trying to find that common ground and just saying, okay, this time, all right, I got to let it be, and then try again next time and try to, again, get to know the people that you're in the room with and that you're working with, and try to see if they can come to your side of, they can kind of see your viewpoint and that you can see theirs. Because usually if you work at it long enough, I think you do find some commonality, but yeah, it can be a tough pill to swallow when you don't get what you'd hoped for. Yeah.
I'll go back to District 75 and I'll pull up an incident where we were planning what type of curriculum to bring into the school for that year. And I think as we were planning, there were certain items that we had on the list, but they would have gone to just selected settings. And I really believe that we should have done more of a piloting program at each level so that we see how it works. But the team wanted to sort of just focus on a particular grade and the common good is for the kids, and the team thought that would have been best at that time. So because our entire goal is for our kids, and most of us had kids within the school, we know we would not have planned against it anyway. So in that we just, went along with what the team does, because again, the team is strongest when it's working together.
Thank you both. So this time we'll be asking our first Vice President Lou Zhao to ask the next question. Lou? Hi. Oh God, what happened? Hold on. How old? Use there. Oh, here it is. You can mute you.
Sorry. So what is your suggestion on the diversity plan for District 28? A little bit of background, right? So we had this debate before pandemic, what is the diversity plan we should, put in first. Right now, it's not really pushed by the Department of Education, but legally it's still applied. But in general sense, we just want to get your idea, what do you think of in that, framework? So please try to be specific. Talk about real actionable ideas, such as busing, loan removal, or some special program, etc., that you think are feasible for our district. Thank you.
So I will be upfront to say that I have not been really following that plan, so I really don't have any information on that. And part of it's because my son, he is in high school at this point. He is in the last year of school, so I really have not followed through with that. But it's something that I could look into, I could read upon and be able to provide a more detailed answer to.
Tanya?
Yeah, I am familiar with the plan. I think I learned about it about 2 years ago, and I listened to the School Colors podcast back then, and just recently actually re-listened to it again. So I heard many of your voices on the podcast, those of you who were on the CEC then and are there now. And I am a huge proponent of diversity, and I think it's good in theory to have a school, and I mean, not just the students, but the teachers and the administration reflect the demographics of the entire district. And of course, when I first heard it, I said, yeah, that's a great idea. But then, when I started listening to other viewpoints on the podcast, I was like, okay, well, maybe this is a pause, because I think in practice, diversity within our schools in our district is a very difficult task. And I think if I were on the CEC, I would certainly want it to move forward, but I would go back to the why the diversity plan. What was the kind of genesis for it? And if I think if we would come to an agreed upon why is it important, we could kind of move it forward. You asked specifically about busing. I don't think busing is the answer. I don't think anybody's happy with their kids on a bus for long periods of time being shipped around the district. Unless there's some, big draw. So, I think if there were some programs in the southern part of the district that my daughter would benefit from, if there was, for example, like a dual French program, I'd ship her there every day, and I wouldn't care about the bus, because it would be something that would draw me there more and take her out of my community. And sure, I would ship her there in a heartbeat. But I don't know if it should really take all that. I don't think it should be that hard. So again, I think we start with the why, and then we solve, for how.
She just got it.
Lorraine, Mr. Luza was asking if there's anything you want to add. I'm not sure if you had any feedback before, but do you have any ideas of that at all? The diversity planning?
I mean, on the very high level, you don't have
But
to.
we can't
Yeah.
qualify the question, Lou.
Sure.
The question is a question. We
Okay.
asked both candidates a question, and they had a chance to answer. Is that fair?
Okay. Just, if she has any to add.
Okay, so now let's ask Jay Lynn to ask the last question.
Okay. This question involves parent leadership and parent advocacy. So please describe the parent leadership or parent advocacy meetings that you attend. Maybe a rough idea of how, maybe if possible, including how many times you have attended. Thank you.
Tanya?
This is the tricky one. Okay, so I've definitely joined CEC calls within the last year or two. I don't join every single month. I can't make it every single month in the past. Of course, if I got elected, I would, but I've been there a handful of times. I was very present when the Co-location of Success Academy came up. And in terms of my own school, I've mentioned that I'm on the board. So of course I joined those meetings, and I joined SLT this year. Last year I was on all of those meetings. I didn't miss any. Yeah, I think that those are the main ones that I'm a part of. Yeah.
Maureen?
Okay, so as I disclosed in the beginning, for the last 6 to 7 years, I kind of, took a breather. Actually, within that time, I was working on some other educational work, doctorate actually in theology. So that was what I was focusing on. But before then, for the 15 years before then, that is what I did. It was required, whether I was in District 28 or I was in District 75 over in Brooklyn side. That is what I had to do. That's how I get my notes. That's how I know what's happening outside. That's how I'm able to come back and we are able to do a discussion. So yes, and as I said, the SLT, the learning leaders, the parent PTA board as president for a number of years on both sides of the aisle. I have 2 sons. One is gifted and finished high school, as I said, with advanced region STEM and 8 region subjects, and the other is in a 6-1 to 1-7. So both worlds are in my house. And so I have to be on both sides advocating. So it's, like I said, it became a free.
Thank you both for answering the questions, and thank you for following our time schedule. Not once did Mr. Gurumurthy have to exercise his power of the clock and his gavel. He was so willing to do that. Thank you so much. Hopefully next time. But literally to wrap it up, we want to just have you just take, a minute and a half each. Minute and a half, Mr. Gurumurthy, to just any final thoughts, any final comments, any final statements you want to make. The council will deliberate, and you're more than please stay back because we are going to vote at the business meeting and discuss briefly, and then come back and announce to the public who we have selected to join the council. So at this point in time, Maureen, you have the floor for a minute and a half.
Sure. So I want to start by thanking you for what you do, because it is a thankless job, but it's a job that needs to be done. Someone has to be the gatekeeper. Someone has to be seeing what's being taught. Someone has to explore new ideas and new approach and have all of our students learn. Like I said, my home is 2 different worlds. I have the gifted and I have the 6-1 to 1. So somebody has to be able to be the gatekeeper for our kids, no matter what level or what ability, and I don't like to say disability, but whatever ability levels they are, and be able to represent them. You're doing an amazing job doing this. And I love the fact that you start out with the networking with all the different folks that you're bringing in. That is absolutely necessary. I believe that's how things get done. Everything needs funding. We need team. We need people to buy into your idea and your objectives, see your goals, and be a part of it. And I think the more that people buy into what you're doing, is the better you're able to move together. Working is always the way to go. So whomever you choose, I know you will choose well, and that they will come in, and if they need to learn, they will learn, and it will be an excellent team. Thank you for what you're doing. Even though both my sons will be in college by next year. Thank you. Continue to do this, because they will have I'll have grandkids sometime in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gurumurthy was getting ready to say time again. You did it. He unmuted already. I was waiting to say time. He didn't do it. They know you. They know you. Tanya, please, you have a minute and a half to wrap up to give us any final comments, words, or statements.
Yeah, I just want to echo a thank you for interviewing with us this evening, for doing all that you do. I know these meetings are lengthy and long, and the job itself is very difficult, right? It takes the visits, it takes the meetings, it takes the actual care that you put into it. So I appreciate the time that you're affording us. I think that you are going to have a good board no matter what, because both of us, I think, are great candidates. If I wasn't running and I had a vote, I said, yep, I might vote for my my opponent here as well. So I think that you guys can't make a bad choice this evening when it comes to us. So you might have as somebody said, I think in the chat, it's going to be rough, but I think it might be easy because you can't. I don't think you can go wrong. So. Yeah, and I know my time is almost up. I think there was questions in the chat. Maybe you can just tell me if we're going to address those or that is not what we can do.
The way the council does this part is that we formulate the questions here at the council level, and then we will ask you the question that we have, because we just don't have capacity at this forum to have everyone answer the question. And who do we choose, right? But just think about it. Also, too, those who have questions and who are marking questions there, you can make a comment in the public comment section about your thoughts, your feedback to us, the council members, and also in the chat feature here up till 8 p.m. You have half hour more to write the word speak, to make a comment in later on, as our able Adriana Lucy just put it in bold just now. So thank you both. And you'll be, please stick around till the business meeting. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the council members for rotating and asking the questions. You all did an excellent job. Thank you so much. All right, so let me put that to gallery view. And we're going to be moving right along. So next item on the agenda, we have a presentation tonight from Mr. Kevin Lopez. I did see you attend. You are here now. Can someone please make Kevin Lopez a co-host? And he is from Motion Picture Technical High School, and he's presenting here. So you have 5 to 7 minutes to complete your presentation. You may start now.
Thank you, folks. Thank you, President. It's a pleasure to be here. Sorry I couldn't sign on a little earlier. I had a little bit of a connection issue, but it's such a pleasure to be here with all of you. And I'm super proud to present to you all this new groundbreaking high school that's coming to Northern Queens. We're really thrilled and excited about it. I'm actually going to make this presentation short and sweet. It's an abbreviated version of something that's longer that can be found on the website that we currently have up to date. I think you guys should be able to see my screen now. And really the purpose of this is not only to introduce myself as the new acting principal assigned project director of this groundbreaking school that's coming to Northern Queens in September 2024. Name of the school is Motion Picture Tech. Tagline is Lights, Camera, Access, because it really is truly an opportunity to provide access to so many students, not only from New York City, but specifically from Queens, to really venture into the world of film, motion pictures, media design, and television. Just a little bit before I go into about who I am as a school leader and as an educator, what's really exciting about this school is that it is going to give us an opportunity to, in a very just unprecedented manner, provide students with 200 opened, unscreened seats with a Queens priority for September 2024 for any students, 8th graders that are currently applying through the My Schools application process for a media design school, a film program, a film school like ours. As I'm going to mention in the next slide, actually a little bit about myself. I was recently the assistant principal of art and CTE at the prestigious High School of Art and Design. And many of you are familiar with those schools: Art and Design, Frank Sinatra School of the Arts, LaGuardia. These are all audition and portfolio schools. And there are a lot of kids that apply to these schools with very limited seats. So part of the impetus for me to really help build and design this program, with the support of Superintendent Fred Walsh, Urban Assembly and CUNY Schools, the Arts Office, and of course the CTE Office, was really to provide more opportunities for aspiring filmmakers and aspiring designers who oftentimes don't have those opportunities because they either get discouraged by the cumbersome portfolio and audition process that I helped support for many years with the high school enrollment office, but also just don't get a seat because there's so many kids that apply to these schools. So this is the very first time where we're opening up seats in an unscreened ed opt manner to students from Queens in particular. And we are extending a beautiful olive branch to the community of Southeast Queens, because we really want to bring in the talent pool, the raw talent that comes from those communities, to really engage with the school, really in the epicenter of film and television, which to this day is still Northern Queens, Long Island City, and Astoria. So we're really excited about this. It is starting in 2024. The mission of the school is to create an inclusive pathway to careers in the film and television industries. We are preparing young, diverse students to become film and media industry professionals, teaching them creative and technical skills to take on what we call in the industry below the line production roles in film and television. Some of you that are in the film industry understand what below the line means. It's a very industry centered term that took me many years to truly understand. And that's really what we're trying to target here. I went to film school before I became an educator, and I was sold a pipe dream of becoming the next Spike Lee, the next Spielberg and Aronofsky, the next Sofia Coppola. And it just wasn't the dream that I should have been sold. I should have been sold on actual technical jobs that were really out there that needed to be filled. And if I would have known that, if I would have had the pathway to get into those jobs, I probably wouldn't have been an educator to this day. I'd probably be making films in Hollywood. But things happen for a reason. And the reason why I'm here is because I want young, diverse kids from New York City to not have to go through the arduous and cumbersome process that I went through as a filmmaker. There should be a tangible pathway at the high school level with the support of the industry, of industry partners, of course, with City, the city behind it, and more importantly, with IATSE, which is the union that really is the gatekeeper for many of these below the line jobs. So just a little data, there are about 95% of all production jobs on a movie set, in film, television, and in design are below the line jobs. 95% of those jobs are below the line. Those are all the end credits that you see at the end of the movie that many of you just turn off when the movie's over. But those are the jobs that actually are sustainable, well-paying, unionized, and plentiful. And many of our students, many of people in our communities don't really even understand where to even begin to apply for those jobs. A lot of those jobs require certifications, technical skills, and we do think that a high school like Motion Picture Tech, with the marrying and the convergence of the media design portion and the CTE office, we can truly create a pipeline for students interested in breaking into that role or in that realm with finding fulfilling and well-paying careers. Another quick note that I want to really land on is that within that 95% pool of individuals that have most of the jobs in film production, which are those below the line production jobs, only 5% of those individuals are people of color. Right. So we're talking about an equity and a lack of diversity in an industry that is really, truly trying to expand its doors, open its doors to more diverse voices. And we think that a school like this, Motion Picture Tech, with the support of Urban Assembly and CUNY Schools and the Chancellor's Office, we really do think that we're going to make an impact. So we're really excited to kind of share this. I'm going around talking to all the CECs, and thank you for the opportunity to come here for a couple of minutes. What's really important is that the application closes December 1st. I am asking schools to, if they're interested in me coming in and doing an in-person demo to talk to 8th graders directly about our CTE and film programs, I'm more than happy to do so. It's important also to note that there is no portfolio, no essay, no interview process required for Motion Picture Tech. All you need to do is go through the My School high school application process, and you just select us as your number one or your top 5, certainly adhering to the fact that order of true priority is always adhered to in the My Schools application process. And if there are any questions outside of this presentation, I'm more than happy to engage. I'm putting in the chat information, the website where you can find this deck. You can find also information about our upcoming open houses that are taking place over the course of November, 2 of which will be via Zoom and 2 of which will be in person. So you might be wondering, where is the school located? As of now, the temporary site that we are expecting to secure for the incubation site for next year is still being determined with the support of Queens Planning Office and the Office of School Design. Should be finding out soon exactly where we're going to be housed our first year. And then we will be moving to our permanent site on Northern Boulevard. Many of you have seen that new building, that beautiful new building, state-of-the-art building that's being constructed now. We're one of 3 CTE pathway schools that are slated to be housed in that facility come September 2025. But we are first going to be incubated in a site nearby in that northern Queens area. So as a result, our 2 upcoming in-person open houses are going to happen in the industry. Kaufman Astoria Studios is welcoming families to come in and speak to me and some of our partners about our programs in person. That's happening on Monday. Seats are limited, so if you're interested in coming, if you're from the area, or if you can get to Astoria by 5 o'clock on Monday, you're more than welcome to join us in that space, in Hollywood itself. And then on the 29th, we will be meeting with families at Ari Camera Rentals, which is the biggest camera rental house in really the Northeast. So that's really wonderful because the industry is really supporting this program. Again, if you want to find more information about the school, you can go on our website or you can follow us on Instagram. I'm posting constantly. I'm telling the story as we build this incredible school. And I really thank you all for this opportunity. So I hope you're excited as I am, and I hope to meet you and your wonderful children in the months to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I mean, this is amazing that. Pause that for a second.
Yeah.
Can someone pause it? Pause it. Yeah. You tell you. Oh, it's echoing here. Or speaker here. Sorry. We are getting comfortable with the system here. Yeah, it's that. We just put it on when we have the presenters, and we take it off after. One second. Is it better now? Okay, this is better. So thank you so much, acting principal, correct? Yeah, Kevin Lopez. And this is amazing that we're having so much, growth in our community with schools. We need more schools, of course, built. So we're so happy that we're seeing a high school being built, and we need more high schools in our community. So once again, for the community to know, what's the name of your school that they should be looking for on the application process?
It's currently on the high school directory. The name of the school is Motion Picture Technical High School. It is a high school that's geared towards media arts, digital arts, film, and career and technical education. So if you have any questions, I'll put my email in the chat as well, but I also put in our Instagram handle and our website for more information. And I'm more than happy to continue the conversations with families and with educators throughout the next couple of weeks.
And important, there are no screens. There are no screening, right?
This is an unscreened school, ed-opt, and it has a Queens priority designation. So that means that students from Queens have a priority seating over students from different boroughs, something that we should certainly take advantage of being from the Queens community. I am a native of Queens, so it's all coming full circle for me, and that's really exciting to be able to give back this incredible dream come true for me to a community that I've been serving for so many years.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And when you do get the permanent location opened up, we would love for you to invite the CEC Council to tour the school, and we could give feedback, or really have a public day for the community to come and see the school, so we can be partners in just making sure our residents really benefit from this amazing institution in our district right here. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And that's a wonderful idea. I'll certainly reach out and connect with you further.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks. Okay, folks, at this point in time, we're going to be having our next speaker tonight. We have the Office of Food and Nutrition Services, D28 Supervisor Lauren Passion.
Passion, that's correct. Good for you.
Lauren, please go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to have, good evening, everybody. I'm going to have my assistant, Mr. Baptista, share our presentation, and we will, no, I do not see it. Give us 1 minute, please.
Lauren, who's sharing your slides?
Aaron, he got it. There we go. Okay.
Thank you.
So this is our presentation that we gave to all the principals in the beginning of the school year. It's how we serve our community. Go ahead, Aaron. So our mission is, of course, to equitably serve New York City students with healthy and delicious meals that enhance their educational experience, reflect their voices, and nourish them into adulthood. This was a pamphlet that we gave out at our teachers' luncheon that we hold every year, the beginning of the year before the start of school. We also give it to the principals that they could give out to parents at their PTA meetings or any parent that does come into the office. It sees about the milk options that we offer, the serving smart food. We have a USDA certified nutritional database that the USDA has to pass when the menus are prepared. Of course, we have plant-powered Fridays, which I'm sure everybody heard about from the mayor. We have breakfast after the bell, which is a mandate from the state that every school does offers breakfast after the bell. It is a grab and go that the students can take to their classrooms after the breakfast service is completed. Menus, we have, you're going too fast. Menus, we have many different menus. We have breakfast menus, we have breakfast express menus. We have food court menus, that's for our cafeteria enhancement program, different middle school and high school menus. Like I said before, there's also breakfast in the classroom or of course traditional cafeteria hot service. The menu types. We also have early childhood, which is the LIFE program. And in District 28, we have one LIFE program, which is in Hillcrest High School. They have their own separate menu that they do follow. And we usually have about between 5 and 8 babies that we feed on a daily basis. There's an elementary menu, middle school, and like I said, the cafeteria enhancement experience. And this is what somehow it looks like. So this is an initiative that we've been instituting. Last year, they instituted 116 of these across the city. This year, they got a grant, the capital funding for, I'm not sure how many, but in this district, we have another 2 that are going to have this type of service. The students love this type of service. The participation in all the schools that we do initiate this usually goes up between 200 and 300 meals a day. Our lunch service, we have to follow the USDA federal regulations. We have to follow the city regulations and state regulations as well. Go ahead. Plant Power Days. So like I mentioned before, I'm sure everybody heard about the mayor, his initiative. So on Fridays, we do offer plant-powered menus. On Mondays, we have a meatless day. So we are also partnered with Chefs in the Schools. This is an initiative to consist of 3 core principles. Recipes are scratch cooking using fresh vegetables, whole ingredients. Meals are plant-based, and meals are culturally relevant, representing the diverse cultures of New York City public school students. Go ahead. Menu options and highlights on a daily basis. We do offer daily vegetarian, vegan, and options on a daily basis. Like I mentioned, we have meatless menu days, which is Monday, and of course Friday is the plant power day. Milk options, we do have different milk options. It's half fat free, 1%, and the chocolate milk is fat free as well. And there are alternate milk options as well. If a student is lactose or if soy milk is needed, we can accommodate that student as well. If there's a request for kosher meals, which we have 2 schools in this district that do offer kosher meals to the students that requested it. That is also we accommodate. And of course, halal meal service. So we have the most in this district halal certified schools in the city. So how that works is if a principal would like and all the community of the school is on board with the halal, they will have to just notify the school food service manager, or they can either email myself or Mr. Baptista, and we notify headquarters, and that puts it start the process to get the kitchen to be halal certified. All the sites in this district do offer salad bars on a daily basis. If there is students with food allergies, we do have something on our website that everybody can read about the allergies, that how we process all the accommodations that we need to in this district. If there is a special request, if it's gluten-free, we do contact the RD from our organization, and they plan out a menu with the parents and everybody who's in that student's team, and we make a menu for that student. We have 3 of those students in this district as of now that they follow a special menu. The share table. So this is something that we used to institute years ago, and we just brought it back as well. So this share table, the managers did speak to the principals, and we explained what the share table is. So we put out a table, it has a sign that says a share table. So if any student does not want something that's on their tray, I'm not talking about a half-eaten peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I'm talking about a closed cereal, or even a closed container of milk, a closed container of yogurt. We do put out ice packs there, and they could put that item on that table, and we leave it up to the principal to decide how they want to distribute that. If they want to take it and they could distribute it to families that maybe are in need, that's up to the principal to decide how they want to share whatever items are left on the share table at the end of lunch service. We do also offer after-school programs, which means after-school meals, because we do have a lot of snacks and cold and hot suppers that the students do eat. So they eat breakfast, lunch, and then they would eat either a snack, it's whatever the director of the program requests. It can be a cold meal, it could be a hot meal. We do offer all of those programs as well. And we do have to have accountability for all of this, just like we have to have accountability for breakfast and lunch, and that is our state requirements. We also offer student taste testings. So the student taste testing, and it's a field trip up to headquarters. So far in this district for this year, PS 160 went, and junior high school 217. They go up to headquarters. They taste test some of the products, new products, to see what their opinion is, because how the products end up on the menu is kid tested. They're honest, and then they usually test 4 or 5 items. They talk about everything. And then they do get a lunch, and then they return back to their school. So all the busing and everything is done from headquarters. So if anybody is interested in that, or a principal, you just have to, speak to your food service manager, and they will send it to myself, and I will send it to headquarters. Okay, but I know I have 3 other schools going this year already, because this year is already booked. If you think it's a good idea and you're interested, maybe we could do something for next year. And of course, our breakfast and lunch is always free in the school. And, that's really what we do. We love to do it. We feed the kids, and that's what we're here for.
Thank you so much for your time. And for spending this time with us today to really shed light on the food our kids are eating in school. I mean, a lot of parents, you highlighted very clearly that District 28 has the most halal requested schools. And, you know, that is a big highlight and we didn't know that. But it's
Yep,
good.
we have the most in the city, so.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you go ahead, sorry, I was saying something else. Go
No,
ahead.
we have the most in the city that are, and also a lot of the CEE buildings, like Forest Hill, not Forest Hills, I'm sorry, Hillcrest, Jamaica, Thomas Edison. These high schools are even halal certified as well. So
And does that mean that the kids' chart has that they will eat halal food, so the school prepares a separate tray for them, or the kids know to go and choose a halal meal from an assortment of meals?
So the majority of the menu for a halal school is all halal. It's the majority is all halal food. So like chicken tenders, so the chicken tenders will be halal processed. The Caribbean beef patty is halal processed. So we do offer the majority of what is served in a halal school. It is all halal approved.
And my last question to you would be that if a parent has a question or has a specific request for a meal for their child, who should they contact first?
They could contact the manager, the school food service manager, and they will inform myself or Mr. Baptista. And it depends on what kind of accommodation they need. And then I will send it to headquarters for our registered dietitian to look at.
Thank you. Do you, yeah, Lou?
Yeah, just on the same note for halal food, is there any accommodation for kosher food too?
So like I mentioned, there's 2 schools that we do offer kosher meals in right now that we had requests. So if there is a request from a school administrative or a parent that would request that the child does eat breakfast or lunch with us, then we could accommodate that meal as well.
Great. And can you please put your contact information in the chat, please? We'll really appreciate that. So that way, in case any of our constituents or stakeholders want to reach out to your office or their requests are not being adhered to, et cetera, they can contact your office, but also everyone should contact us first and we can also help advocate for you as best as we can.
Sure, no problem. We'll do that.
And thank you for being here. You all always
You're
come
very
on
welcome.
when we ask, and I really appreciate your team always being responsive. And we try to have you once a year.
That's fine.
Provide. Thank you so much.
Anytime. You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to be moving right along. So my dear friends, at our last meeting in October, Councilmember Quentin Mezitin, who is our D75 parent, as you know, all the councils now have an 11th seat on the councils across the city, where now a lot of advocacy work went in to make sure that these 75 students and families who have been neglected and left out for a long time to have a seat on the city on a CEC councils. And now this year on every council there is a seat for a parent from the D75 school district. And this year we are so lucky to have as our first person a very amazing Councilmember Quentin Mezitin, who's here. And last month he raised some really serious questions, and we're so happy today that we are going to get some answers. And Quentin, can you tell us about that very quickly about what were your concerns last time?
Thank you, VJ, for that very special warm welcome, man. That's powerful. Awesome. Well, the question that I raised was about the HMH curriculum. And the question I had was understanding how they changed the curriculum and how it impacted the students. And as a parent who wants to be, everything's good with my sound? We're good? Okay. Yeah, as a parent, I just like to be, I want all the parents to be aware of what's changing and if there's anything that we need to do to implement and how we can understand what our kids are being taught so we can help the school-parent relationship, teacher-parent relationship with our kids just moving forward. And for the children in D75, we have IEPs, we have other learning abilities, but we have other learning structures that are used to kind of meet our goals. So I just want to make sure that all of those things were accounted for. And the district heard what I was saying, and they got a representative from the curriculum-based school to share with us those connections and how they support all of our kids in the district. And I'm really thankful that the district, came through. So now I know I could always give you guys more homework and you guys could always follow through with it too. So I like our relationship so far.
Thank you so much, Quentin. So now they were saying HMH curriculum. I'm like, what is HMH curriculum? I did not know what that means. But now we do. It means the what? Houghton Milfin Harcourt curriculum. That's what it means. And we have a discussion of team members here today. So can you unmute yourself at this time? And you can go ahead and share your information. Shannon? Riley?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Yes,
Right.
this is
Shannon, you will send some questions, correct? That Quentin had, and you're going to be sharing light on those. Is that correct?
we will be presenting our program in 2 readings. Suzanne Day is our presenter. If you could give her presenting privileges.
Sure. What's the name?
Suzanne Day, D-A-Y.
Okay, we will do that right now. She's co-host already. Go ahead.
Great, thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Suzanne Day. I'm going to give you a quick high-level overview of Into Reading. We did receive your questions that we have answered. We can share those questions with you, or the account executives will be able to share those questions for you that we created in a Google Doc. And I know I have only like 5 minutes, so I'm just trying to get right into it. So without further ado, as a former New York City teacher and as a parent, my #1 priority was to support a community of diverse learners to become readers and writers. And in order to do that, I needed to make sure that I provide you with a comprehensive solution that will provide quality literature and instruction that will grow with our throughout. A comprehensive solution that provides quality literature, instruction, and support for all of our learners, no matter where they're at, and providing you with actionable data to provide insight into the needs of our learners in order to support their growth throughout. When we're talking about that quality literature and Into Reading, it provides our students with engaging, award-winning, ethnically diverse literature that will grow with our students, that reflects and honors who our students are and what they will become with rigorous, meaningful instructions that builds cultural competence. With quality instruction aligned to the highest standards, you'll find embedded in our Into Reading resources are highly effective close reading protocol of Notice a Note that was created by Dr. Kylie Beers and Dr. Robert Prost. This is a research-based strategy that provides a powerful tool for our students to support them as they learn how to analyze all kinds of texts, starting in grade 1 and continuously growing with our students. This strategy supports our students to become alert readers using 11 different signposts in fiction and nonfiction to guide their analysis of the text, allow them to think critically, and to know about the message that the author's trying to convey to them. When we want to support all of our learners, educational experiences are most effective when they're student-centered, culturally and linguistically sustaining, and responsive to the strengths and needs of all of our students. So you'll find integrated and designated supports all along the teacher text wrap to support our students as they navigate reading and writing instruction. And when we're talking about social emotional learning aligned to the CASEL framework, our students have opportunity to foster a sense of community and to build on their social emotional health. Teachers have anchor charts, lessons, and tips embedded into their daily instruction to support our students cultivate that environment. It helps us focus with the connections to literature by providing them with engaging texts and prompts that are supported with guided questions to establish connections and opportunities to discuss the different connections our students are having to those modules of study. We provide collaborative opportunities with each module that highlight connections and build on relationship skills for our students, and providing engagement routines that promote relationship and social skills and guide our students to turn and talk and engage with one another on a daily basis. Providing you with anchor charts for our classrooms to introduce these competencies and to incorporate them with related activities in a daily basis in our classrooms. But we want to make sure that we're providing culturally responsive and sustaining education to our students. And we do that by creating a classroom environment with the support of our teachers that respect and honor who our students are, and respects and honors their perspectives and insights into the classroom. So, and knowing that we want to make sure that our students are heard, but at the same time, we need to have high expectations and rigorous instruction to drive our students' growth throughout. So when we're talking about that instruction grounded in the latest research, we are fully aware that we need to support our students with providing them with systematic and explicit instruction that moves our students from simple to complex skills. Skills that will support our students with those word recognition skills that they need, and then providing them with a place with award-winning best-in-class literature for them to apply those skills and strategies in context. And based on the research, Into Reading provides you with all the resources you need, assessments, insights, along with explicit writing instruction and practice to cultivate skillful readers and writers. But without actionable data to drive student growth, it makes it difficult to really address those student needs. So having one place for our teachers, students, parents, and leaders to locate resources to really address a need and support our students in core instruction on a daily basis. With one platform, one user experience to access all of these resources for our teachers and families. Our teachers have access to professional learning resources to build them up to proficiency and provide them with best practices as they implement Into Reading into their classrooms, and providing assessments to help track our students' growth and support them and target them at their individual targeted needs. But without implementation of content and instruction to really drive that, and assessment to inform us, we will not have the impact that we need to drive our students' growth and to be successful in the classrooms. So what you see before you is a snapshot of the different skills diversity that exists in our classrooms on a daily basis. This is just an example of a New York City classroom. And as we know, all of our classrooms have a diversity of needs of students that we need to target. So having assessment to help inform that instruction is really the key. Having that data to drive that instruction and to inform our teachers how to target those specific skill gaps. So teachers have a suite of assessments to support them, everything from benchmark assessments where they can track their students' growth, to weekly and module assessments to understand where they can continue to support our students throughout. Parents will have standards reports that will be sent home to them to give them some insight of how their students are performing, or should I say how their children are performing aligned to the state standards. These assessments and state standard reports will give you a comprehensive view of your child's achievement and to how we can further drive differentiated instruction in that classroom. Having those standard aligned instruction will support our teachers to identify those skill gaps, which they will then be able to assign resources to individual students or groups of students to target those skills and promote that growth. So once we've assessed our students, we have a variety of resources to target the different needs of student populations in our classrooms. So what you see before you here is an image of just some of the resources that we have available in our schools to support and target those students at those different instructional needs. Flexible resource that will target our students at all of those different tiers of instruction to really support them as they navigate those skills in their classrooms. When we're talking about supporting our unique populations, we know that students apply learned skills with engaging storylines and award-winning best-in-class high-quality trade literature. However, to support concept knowledge and word reading skills, Into Reading provides daily engaging instruction and phonological awareness and phoneme segmenting and blending. By using targeted lessons from the Foundational Skills and Word Study Studio to develop automaticity of decoding and extend practice opportunities, really support our students challenge those difficult words, including articulation videos, decodable text, and online practice activities for our students. But when we're supporting our students to build those concept knowledge and oral language skills, we're building background knowledge about concepts and content area topics with Get Curious videos to spark our students' interest at the beginning of each module of study, and knowledge maps and lessons that will help support our students and navigate them through each module of study. Directly teaching academic vocabulary related to the topic or theme with vocabulary routines, resources, and lessons helps support our students with those topic and academic words from the text. And lessons include sentence frames to support students with oral and written responses. Teachers have access, as well as parents, to engaging text to build that background knowledge, text that will come in a Rigby library that will have different levels for our students to practice those skills at their just right instructional level, with teacher-facing resources and built-in scaffolding that includes multilingual learner support and response and extension activities for our students to do independently connected to that text. To help reinforce skills from daily whole group instruction, we have our whole group tabletop mini lessons that provide a mini version of the anchor charts that was used in whole group instruction, with a scaffolded lesson and additional vocabulary and a graphic organizers to help support as teachers reteach and reinforce that skill from whole group instruction. And for those students that need a scaffolded support for about a year to a year and a half below grade level, beginning in grade 1, we have our Read and Respond journal. This Read and Respond journal provides scaffolded passages that allow our students to read, stop, and respond at points of use connected to the skills that they have learned in whole group instruction, providing them a place for them to practice and apply those skills in a scaffolded tiered support. And for those students that need effective tier 2 and tier 3 support with foundational skills instruction, we have a foundational skill and word study resource that provides over 250 instructional lessons to our teachers to use in small group instruction to target the needs and any skill gaps that our students may have in those foundational skills. These effective lessons travel with our students all the way up to 6th grade and align to your different modules of study to support your students right at point of use, providing systematic and explicit instruction in a gradual release model, and providing our teachers with all of the resources they need to support our students as they support them with these foundational skills, including practice pages and manipulatives to use with these targeted mini lessons. And to provide a space for adaptive targeted support, a big game changer in our classrooms is Amira. Amira provides one-to-one reading tutoring for our students, receiving automated and personalized opportunities for our students to have targeted micro interventions to support them along the science of reading as our students become, supporting them with over 40 tutoring techniques to help solidify them to become proficient readers. Each micro intervention is scaffolded to target first our students to get them through reading material and to support our students with targeted critical foundational skills. The Amira is a great resource to be used in a centered activity before, after school, or at home to continue to support our students with these skills. With aligned resources within InterReading that teachers can then assign to their students based on skill diagnostic data reports that are generated by Amira. And with Waggle, Waggle provides targeted, adaptive, skill-based practice for our students in grades K through 6, or actually K through 8, it travels with our students, but specifically in grades K through 2 in New York City, it is intended to support our students with foundational skills. Let's take a quick look at that right now. Watch this.
Hi, Ms. Day. Just want to give you a time check, just to be fair to our other presenters and to give the public a chance to maybe ask questions. We have maybe, well, you went over your time already, so we just have maybe take maybe 3 minutes more to wrap it up. Is that fine?
That's fine. I'll take those 3 minutes. And
you.
Appreciate for the time check. 5 minutes is usually not enough to highlight InterReading, but just to provide for you that there are not only opportunities to target the needs of students who need that specific scaffolded support, but there's also opportunities within InterReading for extension activities, to engage in collaborative opportunities, and to challenge our students in daily activities that they can incorporate to each module of study, providing opportunities for our students to be creative and to have incorporate project-based learning into their classrooms. Just gonna skip through that and just ends with how we support our families throughout. So you'll find parent home connection letters that are can be sent home in 11 different languages at the beginning of each module of study. These parent home connection letters highlight what the students are learning, provide additional vocabulary and activities for you to engage with your children as they navigate this new module of study. And for our families, right from the student platform, you have the family room that provides tips, suggestions to help support your children with their learning of InterReading at home and navigating the ED platform. And lastly, for our parents, you can easily access the family room through your student's login. Right under the student's initials, you'll have access to the family room that will provide you with that support to navigate this new resource and to support your students with literacy instruction at home. I'll stop right there and see if there's any questions. I see there's a lot of comments in the chat.
Thank you so much. So we have one more presenter, and after which we will take questions. Thank you so much. That's a lot of information, and we're so happy you are here. And I'm sure your program is diverse. It's full of a lot of exciting things. And Dorinda, Dorinda, you mind?
And we'll make sure that
I know that your program, and we have been trying, and we want to continue this partnership with E75 part of our school. I want to thank Member Quentin Mezitin, and he is our representative here. So when we have any concerns or any parents who reach out to us in terms of these 75 questions, he will be the person to reach out to your team to request your presence and to answer those questions and to bring it back to our community. And we thank you for your work. We really thank you for your work.
Well, thank you so much, and we'll make sure to share those questions with the
Brenda.
representative.
Okay, thank you so much. So stick around for a few minutes, and then we will take questions in a few minutes. Thank you so much. So our last presenter for tonight, definitely not least, but also someone who we really wanted to be here tonight, another stakeholder, a partner in our community, someone who really has been a really big. Do you mind some sharing, Ms. Day?
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Thank you so much. Someone who is really important in our community and the work that they do is the United Federation of Teachers, UFT. And we have the amazing representative, Bruce Zihal, who is here, who will be speaking on behalf of UFT. Bruce, take it away.
All right, so thanks, VJ, and thanks to the entire CEC for offering me time to speak tonight and let everyone know a little bit about what the UFT is, who we are, and what we do. So I'm just going to queue up a quick PowerPoint here, so just give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So UFT, what is this? What do those letters stand for? Well, we're the United Federation of Teachers, and we're a union of professionals. And exactly who are we? Who makes us up? Well, we have 200,000 members. We're very large. And we are individuals who work in and with our New York City public schools. This includes teachers, paraprofessionals, guidance counselors, school psychologists, this whole list of individuals and professionals that you see on this page right here. Now, while our members work for the New York City Department of Education, the UFT is not the New York City Department of Education. Sometimes we are confused with the New York City Department of Education because we're so involved in our schools. But in fact, we are a separate and different organization from the New York City Department of Education. So what are we exactly? Well, we're a labor union. And a labor union is a group of people who work together to secure and maintain proper working conditions and livelihoods for its members. So all those individuals that you saw before, what we're trying to do is secure proper working conditions and livelihoods for them. But the UFT is actually much more than that. And why is that? Because we work with children. Because our members work with children, the UFT takes on a much greater role than typical labor unions, because the working conditions that we work to secure are also the learning conditions of the children that we work with. Now, the New York City Department of Education, that's the entity that's responsible for the education, safety, social and emotional development of our New York City children. The UFT, as I said before, is not the NYC DOE. So rather, what the UFT does is it monitors the policies and actions of the New York City Department of Education. We support and advocate for policies and actions that work for children and their education and promote their social and emotional development. And we will certainly advocate against what does not work. How are we set up? Well, we have a central office in Manhattan, and our president is President Michael Mulgrew. That's where his office is located, and also the vice president offices. But we have an office in each borough as well. We in District 28 are super fortunate because the Queens UFT borough office is exactly located right in the center of District 28. And that borough office is staffed by a borough representative who is in charge of the UFT for Queens, and by district representatives in charge of the UFT for each district. And I'm Bruce Zarhal, and I'm the district representative for District 28, so I'm in charge of the UFT for District 28. Also, within each of our schools, we have chapters, UFT chapters. The UFT chapter in each school is simply the members of the UFT that work in that school, the teachers, the guidance counselors, paraprofessionals, secretaries, etc. And each chapter in each school is led by a UFT chapter leader that the chapter elected. And those chapter leaders spend countless hours of their own personal time to advocate for and secure proper working conditions for the members and proper learning conditions for the students that we serve in the schools. They also work with me, members of the community, principals and assistant principals, parents, community organizations, etc. And I work with them, the chapter leaders and UFT chapter members, to achieve the goals of the district, of the UFT and the district. So what is our mission? What is the UFT District 28 mission? We want to keep District 28 moving forward on a path towards excellence. We want to bring positive change to the lives of the members of the UFT and the students that they serve in our district. Everything that we do in our district revolves and is based around those 2 points on this screen. We work with specially trained representatives that we have staffed at the Queens UFT office who answer our own members' questions and assist with all matters regarding general and special education, everything about their profession. We offer professional development to our members. We offer advice on certification and licensing, health coverage, educational requirements, safety and health in our schools. We work with the District 28 Superintendent's Office and also individual school administrators regarding policies in our schools, professional development for our members, and the instructional focus of our schools, including programs for our students and their families. We also work with our Queens UFT Political Action Coordinator, who's staffed at the Queens UFT office, who helps us work with elected officials on bringing improvements to our schools. And we collaborate with our CEC, parents, and community organizations on a wide variety of issues involved with education. And with the assistance of our Queens UFT Parent and Community Liaison, Delcy Rodriguez, we provide programs for students, parents, and community. And some of these programs, some examples, these are things that are just happening in the upcoming days or just recently happened. Every year we have a Queens UFT Parent Conference. This year it's taking place on November 18th. That's a Saturday. There will be childcare for parents if they bring their children with them. And on this parent conference day that we hold each year, we offer a variety of workshops for our parents. This year, there'll be a financial literacy workshop, how to read a school budget workshop, the environment in your child, disaster preparedness, because we know there were certain things that happened this year with the extreme flooding, smoke in the air, etc., and what Queens has to offer our scholars and their families. This is the flyer. The flyer is available on our district website, as well as on the CEC website. We work with dozens of parent and community organizations. This picture that's over on the left here, we have events called First Book, where we give away thousands of books to students and their families. We participate in a big way in the Making Strides event against breast cancer, which is an American Cancer Society event. And we've raised $15 million to promote research regarding breast cancer and to raise awareness around the subject. Recently, we had a UFT middle school anti-bullying student conference, and several of our middle schools in District 28 participated in that. And at that conference, our middle school students learned how to identify and prevent bullying at their schools, and they were empowered to become ambassadors for their schools and help other students deal with all forms of bullying. So that just happened on October 19th. We have the Dial a Teacher program, which UFT District 28 has been bringing more and more into our district, which is a program where students can reach out for homework help. Down at the UFT, they can get connected with certified teachers in English, math, science, and social studies, and in many different languages, such as Armenian, Bengali, Chinese, etc., listed here on this particular page. But also that program offers workshops for parents. So last school year, we started bringing these workshops for parents into our district, and we will continue to have those parent workshops in our district this school year as well. And those workshops help parents help their children at home with their academic work. This Saturday, we're having an autism workshop at the Queens UFT office. This is for parents, police officers, and community members. We're having a Thanksgiving coat drive, collecting thousands of coats for our students who unfortunately are in homeless situations. And we just try to do as much as we can to uplift our school communities and work with our communities, our school communities, whether it's our members, parents, or community organizations, elected officials, etc. And in closing, we just look forward to continuing our work with all of you and just to keep bringing great things to our schools in District 28. So again, I thank VJ and the entire CEC for allowing me to give you a little bit of insight into what the UFT actually does.
Thank you so much, Bruce, for your time and for all your hard work to do across the district and the leadership team that you have behind you. Want to say to you that we acknowledge your work and the UFT's work and presence. You know, we often hear UFT where the union is fighting, you know, but people don't really know much more about so much work that's done behind the scenes for the teachers and all the staff that works in our schools. And again, we are here to elevate all voices, all stakeholders in our district. And I'm so happy that we're having, for the first time, the UFT present. So you are breaking ground here. And we are grateful for your leadership and thank you. And we're looking forward to having you again on the council. And if there's any time, as you know, I always call on you at our meetings if you want to add anything, because I think your voice is important on this platform. So thank you. Thank you.
All right, thanks for good. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you so much. Okay, so folks, if you have a question, you had time to ask I know we usually end our sign up to speak feature at 8 o'clock, but we had presentations past 8 o'clock. So we're gonna leave the clock open for 3 more minutes, like maybe until it's not 8:33. So until 8:40, you're gonna have a chance to sign up to speak, just because we now finish our presentations, and at 8:40 we're gonna sign it off. So we're gonna be asking our council members for their reports now. I'm asking each council member to keep it under 1 minute because we want to make sure we stay within our permit time in this building. We have a time limit at the district building here. It's not Zoom like before. So we have to really be out of here at 10 o'clock, and we have a next meeting to take care of right after this one, which is the business meeting. So we're gonna be asking our council members to please keep it short and simple and to the point, so we can be equitable. Somebody calling first Vice President Luzau to please, any reports, sir? Or any direct questions for our presenters?
Sure. I may use a little bit more than 1 minute. I'll try.
Let's do this.
Okay, so this is kind of a serious thing I want to raise because everybody knows the situation in Israel right now. We have very large Jewish community in our district. Unfortunately, we don't have any Jewish representation on this panel. If I didn't mistake anybody's background, so I can not represent the Jewish community at all. I mean, there's no reason I can say that, but I feel obligation to at least to say something. I thought, originally I planned to raise a resolution, but I thought hard and long. I think by raising a resolution, I'm going to force everyone on the council to make a statement. If you want to, it's your choice, but I don't want to force you to do that with total understanding of the complexity behind it, So I just want to make this statement for myself. I think, the mayor and the chancellor all made, a statement on the issue, and I agree with them word by word. Basically coming down to a strong condemnation to the Hamas terrorist group, the attack on civilian, and especially a concert that calling for peace. And I also support the Israel's right to defend itself. I also want to add that while they access their right, I hope they can put the great care to limit the civilian casualty. I know it's hard because using human shield is kind of a tactic Hamas use, but I think great power comes with great responsibility. Now it all come back to our schools, our children. We have so many Jewish students in our district that they have deep roots with Israel. Some directly come from Israel, the family come from Israel, or they have a family member over there. They are really in shock, sorrow, and and also the anti-Semitism is on the rising, and to a very dangerous level. A lot of kids are free their safety in school. I think this is really important. Come to our leadership, and to take care of the children, to protect them, and on the other end too. So I think there's a lot of Islamophobia on the rising too. So I think the point is the first resolution I raised as a council member, this is the last term, was anti-Asian hate resolution that was driven by the pandemic, right? So the point I want to make is we don't want a big event like this to legitimize bigotry. And our leadership in the education, the school leadership, the teachers, DOE, they need to protect our children, give them a consolation, and educate them, and make a safe environment for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. Next, I want to remind everyone that public comments, public statements are the individual council member statements. And this doesn't reflect that or any of the members here of the council, but everyone is allowed to make their statements. This is why they are on the council, to make their personal statements. And then here we have Second Vice President Nuran Swapna. Nuran?
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is having a wonderful.
You want to speak about this now? We want to hear.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well today. I just wanted to point out that every life matters. Every child deserves to have a childhood. And it doesn't matter if it's Israelis' life or if it's Palestinians' life. I feel every life matters. And because of that, I'll just leave it there. I think we should spread more love rather than hate. And we should all open our eyes. We should all, try to find the authentic resources to verify our information before we make statements. I will leave it there. And I hope everyone have a wonderful rest of their evening. And thank you very much. Let's spread love.
Thank you, Nuran. Next, we're gonna have, so before our next council member come on, I wanna tell her thank you for being on. As you all know, our council member, who's our recording secretary, Latifa Lewis, is never absent. She does not miss a meeting, and she still didn't miss a meeting tonight. So I want you all to find your reaction. And she gave me permission before to say this, what I'm going to say here. So she did give me permission to do this. Find your reaction buttons on your screen, and I want you to find a hug or a heart or a bunch of flowers. So Latifa lost her father this past like a week or 2 weeks ago. She lost her dad, and we mourning with her. We're sending her lots of love. So please, if you could help me, and we're one community. Remember, we love each other here in this community. So please find your hearts on your hands like this. And Latifa, those who are here also sending hearts to you. All the council members here are sending a lot of positive vibrations. She is in her homeland right now. Well, her land of birth, I should say. And she still joined, despite we told her, Latifa, take the night off. But you know that she's a parent leader and her heart is here. And she missed us as we missed her too. But Latifa, we're sending you a lot of strength, a lot of courage in this hard time with you and your family. And if there's anything we can do to support you in any which way, we are only one CEC away. Okay. So at this point in time, you can have the floor if there's anything you want to add, Latifa.
Okay, thank you, VJ, and thank you to the community. You know, I must say, even within my school communities, everyone. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, good.
Yes, I said thank you all for all the outpouring of support. Even within the school communities, many have been very supportive of my children, and I had shared, I think earlier in the year, that I was doing a walk for ALS because my dad passed from ALS after a short battle. Wasn't quite expecting it yet, but happily he went peacefully. So thank you again. In terms of reports, I did have the opportunity just before I left for I'm in Grenada to attend unveiling at Hillcrest High School, where the chancellor and so forth were in there, and it was a lovely ceremony, and it showed how much they valued some of the coaches and so forth that have been contributing over the years. And I think it was a good outpouring within our D28 community. Yes, it was a high school, but it also kind of just brought to mind some of the people that we've been seeing retire over the past few years. We said goodbye to a deputy superintendent last semester and so forth. And I just wanted to bring it to the council members that, you know, and the community in general, ways to just really sometimes memorialize some of these people who have really impacted the way that our district has grown. In terms, because I've been a bit preoccupied with family stuff, I do not have too much to report otherwise, which is good. I don't have many complaints. But you know, just looking forward to continuing to work with each other, reaching out with my liaison schools, and continuing to serve. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and you can pause it now. We are doing miracles here, I tell you, Latifa, with this whole volume thing. But we're getting there. We're getting better by the end of the semester. Latifa, you have our love, our support. We miss you, but safe flight back. And again, bring us mangoes from Grenada. That's where all the mangoes come from. I will not give that up. You know, we understand that's going on, but you can always bring us mangoes so we can, you know, be together and hug together after with mangoes. We miss you. Okay, good that you're smiling. We miss you. Thank you, Latifa, for all you do. Next, we have Yutao Chen, our treasurer, who's going to be giving his report. Yutao?
All right, thank you. I tried to be brief. First of all, I think in the end of October, it was a fantastic day for the trick and treat. I hope every parent enjoys that process with their kids, loved ones, their kids, and I saw so much fun. Had so much fun with my daughter. Unfortunately, my son is not into candies anymore, which is good and bad, I guess. As we say goodbye to October, November here, it's a month for love. That thanks. I see so much here. I really appreciate that, and I feel like this is the power of community. I hope we can stay together and we support each other. In terms of CEC business, I personally had a rough month myself. I don't have much to report. But yeah, I'm going to keep the parents updated, and I will pray for everyone and hope for all the parents to have a great November. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tao Chen. Next, we're going to be having our members, Jay Lin.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. So report from me, I did hear one feedback from one of the schools. This is something that I want to put it out there for the group, is that when a child is sick and a parent is taking the child to see a doctor, but think according to what we have currently as a rule, the child may not be able to return to the school after the doctor's visit. Like once you've taken the child out of the school, if your doctor visits, even if it's a short trip, you cannot bring the child back to school. That's a complaint that I've gotten. Yeah. And that's very inconvenient because the families are working and you cannot expect a mom or dad to keep the child the whole day because I need to visit the doctor for that 1 hour. Right. So this is something that a complaint that I would benefit if we can look into that, would benefit a lot of the families.
You have principal here, I know, but we'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
thank you.
Sure.
We can
Of course.
definitely.
Muted. So thank you, Jillian, for bringing that up. You know, this is great because these are the concerns that we want to hear from you families, and Dr. Hall is here, and we're going to look into how can we remedy the situation, and that's very, very, very important to figure. That's a very specific ask. Dr. Hall?
Yes, so.
One second, Dorinda?
Yeah. Jalen, if you could provide Sonia and I the information regarding.
Sorry, go ahead again, Dr. Hall.
If you can provide Sonia and I, Sonia Rueda, our family leadership coordinator, some specific information around what the diagnosis was when the child went to the doctor, what the response was from the school community, so that we can respond accordingly, that would be helpful.
Okay, thank you. We'll definitely talk together and we'll come up with something. We'll figure it out and we'll work with the team together.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Thank you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Council member Julie Su. You said Sue before. Yeah. Julie Su.
Hi, thanks. I'll keep it brief as well. I'll echo that it was really nice to see Forest Hills, the community, come together on Halloween with everything going on. Watching the kids' pure joy over receiving and giving out candy was nice. A nice break mentally. The only update I have is that I'm a liaison for MS 217. And just today I went to visit the school, and Principal Patrick Burns, really impressive. I was drinking from the hose on everything great about his school and everything he's advocating for. So I look forward, because I'm fairly new to all of this, learning how I could be an advocate for him as well and his school. That's my update today. So he'll be hearing a lot about my schools, the ones I liaison with. Thanks.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you for all the candy that you brought for us. Talking about all the candy she brought for us for Halloween. Thank you so much. We have so much to take home, and all the 50 people who are here today going to get candy to take home. Thank you, Julie. It's wonderful. And to jail, it was you at the Utah brought candy too. Thank you so much, Utah. I'm joking. We're just joking.
I'm here for the candy.
Oh, he's here. He's here for the candy. All right. Next, we're gonna have member Simone Dornbach.
Good evening, everyone. I don't have many news. I'm scheduled to go on a school tour next week, and in the process of scheduling more school tours. So soon I'll be able to give more of an insight. And I just wanted to thank both Nurun and Lou for bringing up the current conflict that has been really affecting our communities. I want to send love to our families who are impacted. And I just want to encourage you all to speak up and stand up if you see any forms of anti-Semitism or Islamophobia. We as a community, we really need to come together. This is a very difficult conflict with many different layers, too difficult to address at a CEC meeting. But I think we as parents can be good role models and really show that we care for each other, check in on each other, make sure that our kids are okay, and really open our hearts towards each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. Next member we have is member Adriana Alicia.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I also have walkthroughs scheduled for the coming weeks, and I want to take a minute and make a comment, or a few comments rather. I agree that we must center the children always, and more than 3,700 children have been murdered by the IOF since October 7th. I agree that civilian lives should never be considered collateral damage, and more than 8,300 Palestinians have been murdered by the IOF since October 7th. I urge you all to educate yourselves on the efficacy of propaganda. You can easily begin this deconstruction process by considering and asking yourself, how many superhero films did you consume, or how much superhero related content did you consume in the wake of 9/11? We can all agree, we are reasonable people, we can all agree that genocide is wrong. Free Palestine, ceasefire now.
Thank you, Adriana. Next, we're going to be having Gurumurtu Kalyana Ram.
Hi, good evening. This is Gurumurthy Kalyan Ram. I attended as with Natifa and Adrian the event that the Chancellor came to, inauguration of the gym in Hillside School. Marvelous. I got to meet a lot of people. That was delightful indeed. Wishing all of you, especially South Asians, if you're here, happy Deepavali, which is on November 12th. I'm told it's an official holiday for the schools, but November 12th happens to be a Sunday, so you don't get a break. Have a great November. Thanksgiving, Deepavali, all the good stuff. Thank you. Have a great one.
Thank you, Mr. Gurumurthy. And my report. So as many of you know, I am part of the working group for the class size matter. That's happening right now. And while I cannot attend many of the meetings that they have because it's timing of my work, I do follow up on all the reports and the minutes. And for especially District 28, the class size matter law is a bit problematic from a lot of families that has been reporting to me about what's happening. As we are aiming to make sure we have smaller class sizes, this law and the implementation of this law are going to affect schools that have the highest enrollments. And what's been happening is a lot of parents, and when we do calculations, we're noticing that if the school, let's say, has a capacity of 100 students, for example, but right now the school has 300 students because they have been filling the need and using whatever space they could have used to make sure those students get a seat in that school, where are the additional 200 students going to go? And this is a huge concern. This is a huge concern for many, many families in our district. It's not a diversity plan. It's not anything else like that. However, I'm hearing a lot of the fears, a lot of the concerns that's coming up again about where are my kids going to go to school if they don't get a seat in the school that we live next door to. Another thing I'm hearing from a lot of families is that how does the school determine which child gets in and who don't get in? Because if they all live in the same radius and this school is their zone school, who gets in and who don't get in? And who determines that? And then what's the plan for the other kids? So this is something that's been happening a lot right now where the working group has reached is to submit the plan. So now what you should know is the working group is not deciding the law. The law is the law. What the working group is doing is providing suggestions to DOE from all the stakeholders of what we think should be implemented or considered as they unveil this law. And there are people on both sides who are saying, well, it is this way, the law should be the law, or some are saying the law should be revised to have exemptions. Because some people are saying if a school is really overcrowded, well, something good is happening there. And why should we discourage that? And also too, but how also can we make other schools amazing too, so they can also have the same demand? And these, many of you who are present in this meeting virtually and over here, you remember these things came up during the diversity planning situation, and we don't want to wait. So I'm asking you, the community, our community, do not wait till things happen, then to come back and say, well, where's my voice? I am echoing to you now. Is it time to act? Now is the time to have your concerns voiced, concerns raised, call your council member offices, call your state senators' offices, and voice your concern of how you feel. Because we as a council can only do so much, but you as a public have to make your voices heard. And whatever suggestions are going to be sent to the DOE from the working group, it's going to have things that we agree to or we don't agree to. However, I want to say that the council, my position in the council is to not represent the CEC, but I'm there as a parent. I want to make sure that's clear. I am not there representing CEC28. I'm there representing a parent. I'm a parent voice on that council. So I have my personal views of what I think should happen also. And when I send my statements, I send it personally, not on behalf of the council, because I don't discuss this with the council. But various council members are here, and from all across the district, you are free to voice your concerns, write letters, and send it up to where you got to go to the DOE, the chancellor, the senators. Everyone needs to hear your concerns. Once the letter is out, we're going to be having a next discussion. As you remember, our CEC was the first to host a town hall on class size matter when the law came about, and it's concerning. It needs to be thought about, and you all need to be alerted. Let me be the first to tell you what is being thought about, what is being discussed, and how it's going to be unveiled potentially has really concerning effect for families across our district. So think about that. I'm reporting back that for you to think about. Also, we are here. I want to say publicly that I am very proud of our council. As the president of this council, these council members have been working 24 hours. We don't only work once a month here when we're in front of the camera, but all month long. We talk on chat, we call on telephone, we email, we are planning, preparing. And to each of you council members, many of you are new for the first time here. You have been making this district proud, and you've been doing a great job. To all the principals who are present here in person and online, you have gotten a list of who are the liaisons. Each council member here is a liaison to your school to let us know what your concerns are, what issues you're having, what's great happening at your school, so we can work together and celebrate this district and also help along the way. Don't wait till things happen and say, where were the CEC? We are here. We are present. We have capital funding coming up very soon. Let us know your concerns, what you need capital funds for, so we can advocate for you. And Atifa, the amazing recording secretary, she is in charge of the school liaisoning with the council members and the schools, and she advocates for the council members to really go see your school, go to the SLT meetings. So principals, what you should be doing is sending us your emails and your SLT meetings to each council member, so they can attend your SLT meeting. They don't have to come to all your SLT meetings. That's up to them, but they should be there as much as they can. And they have to do a walkthrough with you in your school so they can know the entire district. And just so you are aware, very in full transparency, we ask council members who live in a very particular part of the district to not choose schools only where you live. Be liaisons to schools across the district so you understand this district as a whole. And you also, too, you can't be a liaison to your kids, your children's school. Be liaison, sorry, to schools that your children don't go to so you can really understand the district and advocate for all children in the district. I want to thank all the council members for being very, patient with this process, but we mean well. This is a lot of work, and you all are doing a great job. Thank you so much for the long meetings too. Last but not least, we are having this one. Who? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Report.
Yeah. Member Quentin Mezzetine, go for it.
I have my first complaint. That's okay. This kind of correlates with the D75 and regular school connection, just the shadows. So I'm working on bridging that gap. So one thing I want to do, D75 rep, I've been in touch with principals to make, we're working out our schedules. I work full time and they work full time. So we're working out our schedules to make those visits this month before the holidays. And also I personally invited some people that couldn't come today, like the D75 superintendent, who could probably better answer some questions than this superintendent, no offense, but that's what he does for D75, Kettler Lusan, and parent coordinator Sonia Silvers and principal Nicole, who just, they weren't able to come. However, for other parents who have children in D75, you can go to p811q.com and follow their town hall meetings to get questions answered, just because it's not too many questions that get answered on this one yet. I do want to hope that we bridge the gap so the D75 parents that are here could actually get some of their questions answered and their concerns met as well. And I don't have to hold it to you guys. However, I'm glad I was able to go and I wasn't forgotten. Thank you, BJ. And that's all for this time.
I want to make sure he's paying attention. You see, he's paying attention. Right? Last but not least, my dear friends, so the council has been working very hard with every year. Like 3 years ago, I had an idea of doing a town hall, a middle school town hall for families who needs to know what's happening at the middle schools and what your options are. As you know, applications are due in December for middle school and for high school. You need to apply. However, on November 8th, which is this month, next week, Wednesday, CEC28 is hosting a middle school town hall where we have almost like 9 of our schools. As you know, we have all middle schools, and we have some middle schools that have high schools. So your kids go into the 6th grade and they go all the way up to the 12th grade. So we have in both. It's gonna be an amazing night. We have over 100 people signed up to come attend already. It's gonna be a town hall like no other, like always. So please do come out and support, spread the news, spread to all your families, all your friends. To sign up to come and to join the town hall where each school will present. Also, we know many of you, your kids who are in elementary school and middle school will be going to high school. So guess what? This amazing council said we should also do a high school town hall. So we are having a high school town hall on November 15th. And this is going to be taking place it's all virtual. So we're having high schools also present. So please mark your calendars, November 8th for the middle school town hall, and November 15th for the high school town hall. So it's 9 o'clock. I want to move along really quickly now to our public comments. First, we'll have Jessica Zillo, who is here, who's going to be speaking first. Then we'll be having someone from the online platform. And then back.
That gentleman is for.
Did you sign up? Yeah, you put your name here. All right. Jessica, so you have to go somewhere there. Please, so I can see you. I think here. Oh, God, here. Thank you so much. Is that? You have to unmute the microphone there. And I think she just put that on there and just unmute the computer. Unmute the computer.
Okay, so I'm just gonna talk. So I'm Jessica Zillo. I'm here representing, can you hear me? I am muted.
Yes, we can hear you.
There it is. Great, but I'm too tall. No. This is very awkward, by the way, because I want to talk to you, but I have to face the camera. So this is very weird. So I have 3 comments. One is that I love the fact that the CEC is bringing a lot of things to attention. I do think that maybe the CEC could teach us all how to advocate. Yep, and talk to our council members, because it's all going to change shortly. Some of the schools are moving outside of your current council members, so you should check that out. I have safety concerns for the Queens Metropolitan Campus. We are missing lines across the driveway. We only have 5.5 seconds to cross the street, and it just continues to be an issue. We keep having accidents and kids almost being hit with the way the lights are. So I would love not only for MELS or Metropolitan and that campus to be looked at for safety, but also for other schools. So when you go do your school visits, check out the school safety, because it is horrendous at most of the schools. It is not very easy. And the other thing is that we continue to have issues with the Q54 bus for MELS and their students. The Q54 bus refuses to pick up kids in Jamaica to bring them to MELS if they're wearing their uniform. So they're being discriminatory actions by the bus drivers. This also goes back to the bus policy being over 20 years old. And so that is something else that should be looked at by the DOE. But overall, my concerns today are just safety. See, I'm fast, so I'm done.
So much. Okay, at this point, Brenda, you can raise the volume there, please. We're gonna have I just have the list. Hold on. Here you go. Charlene Albany. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Charlene, can you please unmute? Okay, and Tina Bazin, you're next. I don't see Charlene on right now. Tina?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So let's see, now I don't see you somehow. Okay, there you are. Okay, good evening, CEC28. Thank you so much. My name is Atina Bazin. I'm here tonight on behalf of Defense of Democracy. We are a national, true grassroots organization that advocates
Unmute yourself, Atina.
Hello? Hang on.
It's good now. It's good now.
Is it good now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know why I'm getting an echo now.
You're on twice. You need to have one of your devices, both the sound and the speaker off.
It is off. Let's see, because I think you guys turned on the second one. Because I didn't have this echo prior to
It's good now.
Not for me. But okay, let's see. How about now? Okay,
Yes, that's better.
please do not allow this to eat into my time. So I'm just going to start my clock here to be sure I have enough time to finish. So my name is Atina Bazin. I'm here tonight on behalf of Defense of Democracy. As I said, we are a true grassroots organization, a national one that advocates for parents, teachers, students, librarians, and all Americans who are fighting every day to protect civil and human rights from extremist hate groups. As some of you know, Moms for Liberty is who's absolutely associated with the Proud Boys, a violent white nationalist group, is a bona fide extremist org that's already in our community. Many of these orgs, including those that hide behind more neutral sounding veneers throughout the US, have converged, and they've sought to make public schools, teachers, marginalized communities, and kids a central target in order to help destroy public education and create non-inclusive environments and build an authoritarian movement that destroys our liberal democracy. And this is not hyperbole. Part of what they do is invent new controversies, and they resurrect old and create new ways of fomenting fear and intolerance. And they pit communities against each other by instrumentalizing and exploiting differences based on race, gender, sexuality, and religion. And they do this through co-opting patriotism, spirituality, and family while selling a victimhood narrative and attacking equity, inclusion, civil rights, and freedoms, as well as pro-democracy groups that are trying to keep their actions constrained. There's a huge spike, as some have already spoken tonight, in anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. And these extremist groups are now hijacking the pro-Palestinian liberation movement, though they share no ideological similarities, in order to launder conspiracy theories, talking points, and very ugly Islamophobia and anti-Semitism to destroy democracy and to get out from under their extremist designation. Please be mindful of who you platform. And finally, we all share many of the same values. All the kids, all of us, all of our children deserve access to quality education with accurate and up-to-date learning information and materials and supports in order to prepare for success in an ever-changing and multicultural world. So it behooves us all to come together across all differences to defend our democracy, public schools, and our kids' freedoms. So I have two questions. I'd like to ask each council member and new candidate, what specifically are each of you committed to do to keep all of our public students, public schools, and democracy safe from extremist orgs like Moms for Liberty and their affiliates and supporters? And finally, will any of you here tonight, council members and senators included, sign our pledge? Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Next we have here is Jared Freeman.
No.
Charlene changed devices and is back now.
What's happening?
All right, thank you. You see who you are? I do. It's a shadow. I think you can see me. Hi, I'm Jared Freeman. I'm from the area, actually, so this is actually really sweet for me. I am from Zeta Charter School, so I wanted to introduce myself because we're interested in coming to Queens. If you haven't heard about us, I'd love to give you a little bit of information just about who we are. We're currently in Upper Manhattan and the Bronx. We currently serve 2,700 students and 400 staff. We have 5 elementary schools and 2 middle schools. So we currently operate in private spaces, and our facilities they're beautiful. We usually have rooftop playgrounds, recording studios, gyms, art studios, soccer fields, innovation labs, and a lot. For specialty for our students, we offer a large array of things from dance, yoga, taekwondo, chess, choir, orchestra. We really try to balance our academic rigor with also a great after-school program and in-learning program for our students. And so we also are academically top 5 charter network in New York City, and we are the largest charter pre-K provider in New York City. I'm here because we really want to identify ways that we can work with the community, how we can work together, before just jumping in and coming in, we want you to understand who we are, what's worked for us, but also we want to understand what's working for you and how coming here would make sense. But we also want to understand how you work with charters and what that looks like, but also how to make sense of that. So we really thank you for having me, and I look forward to hearing your questions if you have any.
Thank you. There you go. The camera's off. Something happened. Okay. Thank you so much, Jared. Okay, we're going to be going back to our list. We have next is Jean Han. Jean Han, let me make her allow her to speak. G-E-N. G-E-A-N. Okay. Jean, Jean, go ahead.
Everyone, great meeting tonight. Thank you so much for all your efforts.
I don't have a lot. A couple of things I wanted to ask about. VJ, I'm so glad you brought up the class size working group. That was one of my biggest concerns. I am very concerned about this. When my daughter was eligible for pre-K, I don't know if people remember this, but we were actually zoned out of our zone school. We received an offer from a school that was neighborhoods away and in a reverse commute. So it's very possible that if the working group picks up the preliminary recommendations, one of them was to cap enrollment, which is basically truncating all the schools to 20% of, basically eliminating 20% of the seats. It would have a devastating effect, especially on the northern end of District 28, because we have all the schools are overcrowded. So there's no space to build a new school. And then there's no space to send kids to schools within a reasonable walking distance. So it's very concerning, and I would very much appreciate any more follow-ups that you can share with the community, VJ. The other thing I wanted to share is our school rolled out recently a phone-free environment, which we're using a pouch called Yonder, and it was a little bit jarring at first for parents to hear, oh, my kid won't have access to their phone all day. But I'm starting to actually see the benefits. I was one of the ones that was a little reluctant. What if there's an emergency, et cetera, et cetera. But I think it's actually having a great effect. I asked my child about it the other day, how it was going, and I thought it would, I thought she would have a very bad reaction. And she actually said, Mom, I love it. I get to talk to my friends now. So it's just something that I wanted to share. Not that I think it's appropriate for all schools, but it's maybe something to bring up if you're on the PA or on the SLT, if this is something that you're seeing in your schools where the kids are, every waking moment or every free moment they have, like in the bathroom, on their phone, it's something to consider. That's it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Latifah, so sorry. So sorry. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you so much, Jean Han. Our next speaker is Mr. Richard Connolly, and he is no stranger to us here. I remember when we were back in person, back in the days, him and his whole debate team would be here telling us about the amazing work they do, but I'll let him do his thing. Go ahead. Good to see you.
Can't hear online.
One of these, right? So, yes, hi, everyone. It's good to be here. Richard Connolly, American Debate League. And as the president said, I used to come here and we go to CCs throughout, here in every district, throughout the city. We're here because we're excited because we work with schools throughout New York City, Long Island, and Westchester. And our core belief is that debate changes lives. And also we believe that our mission is to help children become better thinkers, speakers, and leaders. Now, I am excited because we do have two schools in your district, PS 101 and PS 80. And the interesting thing about both of those schools, they both qualified for the Queensboro Championships last year. So let's give them a round of applause. And let's keep the applause going because actually, went into our tri-state New York City championships that was sponsored by Senator John Liu, if you know him, and also Speaker Adams, which I believe she has schools in this district as well. Yes, so we want to work with more schools within this district. So we're going to be reaching out to the principal, CEC. We've already reached out to the superintendent, Dr. Blake and Dr. Hall. We've reached out Deputy Sue. So we're looking forward to working with more schools. Again, we work with schools throughout. And also for middle and high school students, we actually work with them and prepare them to go to national competitions like Harvard as well as Princeton. We've taken schools from District 29 as well as 26 and I think 25 to Harvard and also other schools, districts throughout the city. So thank you. You can email us at AmericanDebateLeague@gmail.com, AmericanDebateLeague@gmail.com, and our website is AmericanDebateLeague.org. So I guess I might have like 10 seconds left. Again, Debate Changes Live. Thank you. And I see Dr. Hall on here. I've been reaching out to you. It's been great. We appreciate the opportunity. Look forward to working with your schools. And yes, District 11. Yes, we're working with District 11. We actually have schools there as well in the Bronx. So thank you and take care, everyone.
And thank you for all your work that you've been doing and really being a force for the students in our district. We acknowledge and we thank you for your work. I think the camera is off now.
Yeah.
And maybe you should mute that piece, mute the other thing. You mute it there.
Okay.
And then there it is. We get in there. And maybe put the camera down. Maybe the screen. There you go. More too low, too low. higher. Right. Not too much. No, we gotta see. We have to see.
Oh, you want to see you?
Because it's not. No. They.
Yeah.
Good. They gotta see us. I don't want to see me. I'm wearing a yellow scarf. They don't see me. Trust me if I get lost. Thank you so much. So that wraps. Last speaker is Jennifer Sobers. I had asked you to unmute. Jennifer, go for it.
Hi, good evening. I wanted to congratulate the candidates vying for the open CEC seat for responding so well to tough questions that most policymakers and elected officials and scholars don't even have the answers to. Maureen sounds like an amazing person with passion about youth. I want to say a few words about Tanya Went. I'm so very proud to serve alongside her as co-communications president, secretary of our parent association of our daughter's school. She's passionate about parents being informed, and she plays an active role in the school in many other ways as well. Notably, her role on the SLT has been vital. This year, more than any other year, I've been attending SLT meetings. Parents are standing up for their rights to have a voice on the SLT and not just listen to what the administration decides on their own. Tanya has been at the forefront of this movement. And this goes squarely with what I believe President VJ has tried to vigorously promote, even so great tonight, is parent engagement and speaking up and asking questions about our children's education and not feeling like we have to just go along with what we're being told. Tanya will be a vocal echo for that important message. Finally, Tanya was recently president of the school's Inclusion and Diversity Committee. She believes strongly about inclusion of all of our wonderful, diverse students and families. And I was so impressed with the fact that at the beginning of the school year, I'm not sure, I don't think she's an IT person, but she learned enough of the IT to revamp the PA website to try to make sure that our literature and bulletins could be translated for our diverse families so that more families can feel welcomed and truly a part of the school community. Tanya's commitment to celebration of diversity and promotion of inclusion will be an asset to this CEC of such a vibrant community as District 28. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jennifer. And that wraps up our public comment section. Charlene, are you back? Let me make you unmute you. Charlene, are you back? Let's see here.
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, everybody. I'm so sorry to stand between the end of the meeting. I just wanted to quickly announce that I'm so excited. My name is Charlene O'Benny. I'm a school counselor as well as an IBCLC and a full spectrum doula. I'm super excited to announce that we have the opportunity to bring Girls Inc., a wonderful program for our girls in District 28, to the community. It is a mind-body institute, ages 8 to 18. We're going to be housing it at Roy Wilkins Park starting next Thursday, and it will be a free program open to the entire district. We hope to have you join us. I'm going to drop my information and flyer in the chat, and just in the interest of time, if you want to reach out to me, you can email me directly at events@someclients.com. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Charlene. So last but not least, folks, one more big feedback I received after our last meeting was, Dr. Hall, this is important for you to note, please. A lot of parents are concerned about what is the emergency response from a school if there were to be an emergency in the school, like whatever's happening, all right? And I think what should happen going forward, and this is a suggestion from myself personally, is that the school should provide an orientation to parents. Hey, if there's a fire in the school, your kids go here, but we expect you to do this. God forbid, if there's an active shooter, God forbid, we will notify you through this, but we don't want you to do that. And so parents know what their roles are, and we know what the school is doing. So there's no like people running around like, well, what do I do? What's happening? There's a concern right now that parents don't know what to do. And it has never been done in terms of this sharing this publicly. I know every school has a standard, an SOP binder, like what standard operating procedure of what is expected to be done. However, can we have some form of presentation from the district office? I'm not sure if it's the same procedure for all schools or is it district wide or what it is, but we can discuss offline what it looks like and how we can start as part of orientation for every year to provide a platform for parents to know what to expect in any situation and what their roles are, what the school roles are, and what, et cetera, et cetera. Is that fair?
That is fair, and I just want to say,
sorry.
That is fair, and I just want to say very briefly that we have such a training for school leaders at the beginning of the year and teachers as well. So I think it's a great idea to also do this for parents. So what I'll do, I'll invite the Borough Safety Director for our district, Sammy Abbasi, to our next meeting. And he'll be able to speak about what the expectations are and the privileges are for parents during a safety concern.
Thank you. And I would add that during the mic, I would add that we want to start this on D28. We could pilot this program where we have parent orientations for safety, but also too for it to be a citywide, and I'll talk to the chancellor about that to make sure it happens across a city, because that's the climate we live in, sadly. And our D75 parent, who his antennas up, which is great, he said, especially also too, how do we evacuate special needs children or children who have different abilities, right? It's very concerning too. So we'll talk offline and we'll have a good plan. I know we'll have the resolution. Thank you so much. So folks, the time now is 9:30, 9:27 on my clock, Quentin. And we want to call this meeting adjourned. You are welcome to stay back for our business meeting where we vote for our new member on the council. And if you stay back for the business meeting, then you can't speak, but you can listen in. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being here. At 9:30 sharply, we will be starting our business meeting. You can all unmute and say good night or say hi. So
good night, everyone. Great seeing you all.
You can unmute yourselves if you want now. And put your cameras on. We miss you guys. We'll see your faces.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Night. Are you here? Okay, they come down right. They come downstairs. I'm not sure if they come upstairs, but let's see. They're gonna be in front, meet you in front, okay?
Hi, will our questions be answered tonight, or is that going to be a follow-on?
Sasha, which question?
Questions on the chat or comments on the chat that people have left, or are they going to be addressed tonight?
I didn't see. Was your question for the candidates or was it like to the council?
It was both.
I believe it's both.
Okay, so what you should have done at the time, at this point, the calendar meeting is over. But you should have signed up to speak so you could ask the question in the public comment section.
I did ask the question.
And I will ask, let me see if Dr. Hall is still on. Dorinda, can you please put the CEC email, the chat, please? We are putting the CEC email on the chat. And what you can do is email us directly the questions and we'll have it sent up to the district office or the council will answer it for you.
Amazing, thank you.
But in the future, please sign up to speak and we can definitely ask your question publicly.
But Vijay, I did sign up to speak and I asked the questions publicly and I haven't received an answer from anyone. Respectfully, I did ask, I did sign up to speak and I did ask. I just want to know what each person, especially the candidates, are going to do to keep all students safe from extremist orgs, given the state of the world right now, I think it's a very important question to ask and have answered.
So, and I would recommend that all the CEC in the first order. CUFT stuff, we did it together, but Delcy doesn't pay it for stuff. So you're.
Right, so good afternoon. The time now, can you put the recording on, please? Is it still on?
Yeah.
Okay, the time now is 9:33 and this, I'm sorry, excuse me. The time now is 9:33 p.m. Today is November 2nd, 2023, and this is CEC28's business meeting. We're going to be asking our treasurer to please do a roll call.
Ask your name for pronunciation.
President Vijay Manjathan,
I'm here.
Vice President Luda.
Yep.
Second Vice President Nurang Smapa,
Present.
Treasurer Itao Chen, present. Member Jailing,
Here.
Member 22,
Put the camera on, think about thinking.
Member Quentin Nasting,
Here.
Member Simon, sorry, Simon Dunbar,
I'm here.
Member Adriana Alicia,
Here.
Member JK Kala Yap,
Yes, yeah, thank you.
Member
Quentin,
yeah, Quentin.
you call already?
Yeah, I got it.
That's all. People Lewis.
Lewis.
Present.
Yeah, she's
She is here, but she is here. I know she's here. So she is here, but maybe she can't where she's right now.
Can you hear me? I'm speaking.
Oh, Nativa Lewis? Oh, Dorinda, can you
I'm
please put the microphone on so we can hear her?
I'm present.
Thank you. Maybe lower down a
Present.
little bit now. Actually, take it off, because we
you-
can do it from here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, take it off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, present.
Okay, excellent. And remember, Julie's son is here. She, even though she couldn't answer, I know she is here, just for the record. Okay, we have to do this and we really just get the items quickly, and then we're gonna move through it. Absence forms. Right. Lose out. So lose out was absent last month due to a personal situation. He was well. He sent in a form, and go ahead.
Yeah, I think virtually because I was recovering from COVID. So, yeah.
Anyone mute your microphone, please? Everyone.
You want me to open the form?
No.
You don't need
Mute the microphones. Dorinda, can you make that muted there and that is turned off? This shouldn't be echoing. And is that turned on? Everyone is turned? CC is on. Okay, go ahead, Lou.
Do I need to open it?
Done?
Yeah.
So, I made a motion to, approve Lou's, absence as used because of, COVID. And we're gonna do a roll call to, just approve or disapprove. I'll just do it. President Stratton, yes, what we said, excuse. You can answer, Lou. Neuron,
Excuse.
Natifa,
Excuse.
Utah,
Excuse.
Jalen, Julie, we were voting, okay. Quentin,
Excuse.
Simone,
Excuse.
Adriana LCA, GK.
Excused.
Thank you. Okay, so that is excused. Do we have any others?
No.
Okay. Next, we're gonna move on to our next item, which is, I'm just gonna go through your,
There was one, Lou, you received mine?
we'll do yours next month, for today.
Okay.
Thank you. Because you are present. Middle school and high school admissions town hall. Does anyone have a question about the town hall? Does anyone have a question about the middle school town hall? Again, this is not a calendar meeting, so you don't have to be present. It's nice when the council members are there. I'll be hosting the middle school town hall, and Simone will be hosting the high school town hall. And there was a group of that was convened from the high school team. And where are you with that process right now, Simone?
We're done. And then
Okay. How many high schools are we having? Okay. What's the aim?
Do we have the which four high school?
Yeah. Okay, that's Yeka, and that is 310. That is like all in District 28 here. So, and what the goal is how many schools? Do we know? Like 5 to 7 schools, more or less, different variations of schools? Oh, okay, 10. That's good. All right, cool.
That's the goal, to help.
Right.
What about the middle school?
Well, I'm gonna.
Okay, yes.
We have 9 middle schools that's coming for the middle school town hall who have confirmed already. Emails went out to the community already. People have been responding, and we are on board for that next week. Again, it's all virtual, so you can all join virtually for that. Going once, going twice. Any questions about the middle school town hall? Gone. Any questions about high
Not
school town hall?
questions, but a couple, just a comment that there's a couple schools that I have to follow up with, I'll follow up with during the course of this week. So Simone, I haven't really been able to follow back up, but yes, there are a couple that were on my radar.
Thank you so much, Natifa. And again, everyone can chip in, right? If you're part of a committee, I just want to say this to all of you council members. No one should be calling you all the time to say, hey, are you going to help out? Like that's unfair. It's really unfair to the committee chair to be reaching out to all of you and saying, oh, not supporting. Like you have to support. This is all of our work, right? And it's not fair that we are on a council and yes, CEC28 is doing this, but then the chair alone is, or Natifa or myself or whoever is doing it. I had asked if there's anyone else want to be part of the committee for the middle school town hall. No one responded. No one. And also some of you didn't respond also to the high school town hall. So how are you supporting? Sorry, I gotta call it out. It's not fair. So I did all the work for it under Rinda, and then you have a team, and please. Student Timo's doing a lot of the work, and the Tika that's doing a lot of other work, but you all gotta come in, some support. It will take all of us to do this. No, it's not pending, it's about supporting.
So what would supporting have?
So, so mute, who's me on mute? Sorry.
Oh, that's me.
So it's not late, Mr. Gurumurthy, thanks for asking. And I know you're new to the council, so we have to reach out to schools. We have a lot of schools to reach out to plan to get them to come present.
I see, write to the schools, call them and say, tell them, inform them.
Well, you can give name because Dorinda actually write to the school.
We have a committee. The
Right.
committee, when we were in the chat, we asked who wants to
Right,
be on the committee. They've been meeting to discuss this. Okay. I'm asking everyone. I know we all work and we all have kids, but it will take all of us to really do the lift. Create a flyer, do an email, do an outreach, please. Next. Yes, join the committee.
Yeah.
Join the committee, and the committee chair will tell you.
Whoever the committee chair.
We need some mangoes.
Yes, nothing but bringing mangoes. No promises though. How about this?
I'm just virtual, right?
It's all virtual.
We attend from wherever
But
we
the
are.
planning will take place behind the scenes. So when we go virtually, we have a wonderful event.
It's just a matter of.
That's fine. That's fine. It's not mandatory, but the planning you can assist. You can all
Is there
assist.
any more planning to be done?
Yes, talk to the chair right there, and I'm the chair of the middle school town hall. The chat has all the information. Council members, sorry. Also too, I want to bring it up really quickly. A lot of you are not responding to emails. Our WhatsApp chat is not our main form of communication. Our emails is our standard way of communication. There are emails that's been sent out and we are waiting for your responses. I try to get consensus from all of you on everything. And if you don't respond, then the two people who respond, that's the consensus. And then we have to move forward. And you chose to do this position here, please be active on it. Please. I'm really asking for that cooperation from the council members. Yes, please.
I receive upwards of 100 to 200 emails a day, right? I signed up for this, I get that. From the CEC email box alone, before the start of this meeting, I had 120 emails that were sharing for your awareness and or something. You cannot expect us to cipher or sift through that to find the one email where you're asking for consensus or the one email that we then need to answer back to or share some additional information. It is an unfair system, and it's also not possible for it to continue long lasting. You cannot get hundreds of emails a week that, for the most part, have nothing to do with us, right? I get it. We're just sharing the information. That's great. Transparency is fabulous. But I don't think it's necessary for every single person on this CEC to receive the recap email for President's Council when you could all just get it like Monday morning or Friday. It needs to be a separate email. The clogging is impeding problems.
That's good feedback. So what we can do is do two things. I will talk to Dorinda and we can filter a system of what is absolutely necessary for you to know. There are we have had other feedback in the past where we're not getting the emails. So then we had to send the emails out. So now we're getting the opposite feedback, which is good. And we will work on that. And also too, what we can do is find a way on the emails that requires consensus, say in the subject line, council member consensus needed.
Action.
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 Is that okay, folks?
Action.
I'm sorry.
Once her hands are up. So raise your hands, please. Latifa, go ahead.
I actually vehemently oppose that because yes, as you mentioned in the past, we have definitely asked to have more rather than less information because sometimes important things slip through. Many of us are on multiple groups, multiple organizations and so forth. If necessary, we can have a short workshop on email filtering and so forth. You can create folders into your parts, to dump CEC emails, to filter by keywords or whatever else. But there may be things that you don't need to, you don't want to see because maybe you're getting it from two sources, but I want to see because I'm not on your other sources, or GK wants to see, or whatever else. There are people who have, you know, children in multiple districts who have lots of different things. And the things that are shared to our listserv, oftentimes they have different value for different people, just as sometimes when it comes to schools, there's certain things that affect like certain neighborhoods, certain community districts, etc. So I am one actually for getting everything and doing the filtering on my part. I don't think that it's unfair. I think it's unfair to put the extra stress on Dorinda to make that decision for us, because sometimes she herself is not necessarily as sure. Dorinda has asked me sometime before about like an email, is this, you know, whatever, or things of that sort. So I want all the emails. I'm gonna say that.
Wait. We have so folks, we have to raise hands. We have to raise hands, please. And we can implement it. You could say, I want to get permission to speak too, because the kind of thing, right? So, no, this is not a vote item. So, I think all of you had made comments before, but you had your hand. You were saying something before also. Were you?
Yeah, my comment is basically we can have some conventions and the rules so that we can follow up certain actions instead of putting them, as the people are saying, putting the other the burden arranger. So that I think that's fair.
Okay.
I think we can do a better job.
Okay. Adriana?
I just want to clarify, my point was not for everyone to not receive the information.
Yeah, you can raise your hand on the screen. Sorry, that's good. Yes.
My point was for the information to be sent in bulk or in mass versus piecemeal, right? We get an email either Tuesday, like if we get 100 emails to the listserv on Monday, everyone gets the email that has all of those either as attachments or links. There are so many ways to do it, but everyone receives one email then Tuesday morning or Monday night, like whatever is the easiest. It's not to reduce the amount of information everyone receives, it's to consolidate it so that we don't get click fatigue or inbox fatigue or any of the other things that are normal, natural, and happen.
Okay, I'll take the last comment on this, and then we have to move on, right? Because we have the time, right? So, sure, Nuran.
I'm on the same page with
Adriana.
because I feel like when
You're not on mute. Go ahead. Yeah, that's
because when we get lots of emails like that, I tend to like, you know, my brain tends to not like open them up because there's so many of them. And like she said, we all have like work apart from this, you know.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, just to be fair.
Okay. We have to move on.
Yeah.
I just want to.
Use WhatsApp. Don't say WhatsApp is not, you know, like just
We can't.
remind a few.
we cannot.
No, just remind people to look at it.
I do.
That's all. That's all.
I don't mean, just put action. You
Yeah.
can screen it on that. No, just put action.
Okay, all right. So,
Just
folks,
use WhatsApp. Remind people, look at
Thank
email.
you.
That's it.
Can we please take up the chat feature, please, everyone? Clear the chat feature and the reaction feature. So, let's take away one thing from this. We'll keep the system coming along. However, we'll add the word action in the front of the subject line that requires an action item, but you still gonna get all the other emails. Let's try that and leave room that if it doesn't work, then we come back to it again to build more. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Moving along. Okay. Minutes, agenda minutes. Wow. Okay, so yeah, we need her.
We don't
need her.
We do need to.
We wanted to ask a clarifying question for what candidate?
It's on her application. It's for Maureen.
Yeah, we want to make, but I saw you all ask the question, so we want to ask.
Yeah.
Let's ask her.
On her application, it says.
What's going on?
752.
Okay.
You pull up, I can pull it up.
Give me 1 second, please. Okay, minutes. Here's the minutes, everyone. This was sent out again via email for you to view before the meeting. We don't vote on minutes. We make a motion to approve them. I read through the minutes, and I think it captures last meeting's properly well. I make a motion to approve. Does anyone second that?
Second.
Thank you. Thank you, Quentin. Okay, minutes approved for last October calendar meeting. Our last item, can we please allow Tanya and give me a second, Lou, please. Can we please allow Tanya and Maureen to unmute? Tanya, I just asked you to see if you could unmute.
I can.
Hold on. Go ahead. Are you hearing me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Good. Yes, I just want to make sure in case we have a question for you that we can unmute you. That's all we're asking for.
Got
Just
it.
Good, you're here. I was just trying to get Maureen back in here because there's a question that came up on the council members, a clarifying questions just to make sure we're on the same page before we go deliberate and come back. Is Maureen on? She's not there. Not yet. Did she call you? Is she coming back? Is Johnny says she's in the waiting room, maybe? No one in the waiting room. Did we kill the waiting room? Like, kill. Did we close the waiting room? No. It's always there. See it. It's my, she is here. Okay, let's ask. Let me find her. Sorry. I'm finding her. She's admitted. Okay, good. And let's just ask her. Okay, she's connecting. 1 second, please. Okay, let me ask her to unmute. Maureen, can you hear me? I'm asking to unmute Maureen.
Hi, thank you. My apologies. Had to really,
No, please don't apologize.
my apologies, yes.
And the council members, yeah, don't worry. I'm just joking. Maureen, one of the two council members, there's a question and we want to clarify before we go ahead to our deliberation briefly. The question is, did you want to ask her?
Yes, the question.
You want to unmute, please?
Hi, Marin. The question is, what school does your child go to?
Presently, he's in District 75 at Queens Transition Center.
And that is your only child that is enrolled in a DOE school, correct?
Correct, currently, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Am I frozen or is the meeting frozen?
Maureen, my question to you is this. So just because we want to make sure, because I am not fully aware of that, but I know CEC qualification for us to be on this council, your child or children needs to be in middle school and below,
Okay,
like up to 8th grade and below. Now, is your child in that category or not?
no, so he is
I'm sorry, I can hear you.
in
Hold
high
on.
school setting, yes.
No, one more time. Go ahead. Say it.
He's in a high school setting.
He's in a high school setting, but is he in high school?
Yeah, he's in a 6 to 1 to 1. He's in a Queens Transition Center, so he will be beyond the 9th grade, the 8th grade, yes.
He's beyond the 9th grade.
Yes.
So I do not
Academically, I believe that would be a 8th grade level where he is if you're placing it by grade, but if you're asking me within the school where he is his last year of high school, which is, as you know, is different with this class you're in as opposed to the academic level. Is in
right. Because based on your application, your child is in a high school level, not an elementary or middle school.
Yes.
Right. So now my question to Dorinda, and just to clarify, FACE has vetted Maureen's application, and they said she's qualified for a seat. Because what happened is all applications that come in to us,
yes,
it has to go through FACE. They make sure that you are qualified before we can even interview all the candidates, right?
Yes.
So this is something I want the council members to know, that this is not us here. This is FACE sent us.
They made a mistake.
Right. So
There is a council, special ed council for high school.
But
we're thinking about
I
it.
can't, because for borough appointee, I know for sure you don't have to have kids.
Yeah, that's different.
That's different.
But for vacancy,
It has to be within the, like how when we applied originally. So I think we're gonna have to clarify this and make sure Natifa has a hand up, Natifa. And folks, like, let's implement this. If you want to speak, you have your devices, raise your hand, please. So we can acknowledge you, okay? On the thing. Latifa, go ahead, please.
So as I think Dorinda was mentioning, I think it may have just been an oversight. Because in her personal statement, she does mention the 28th middle school or so forth that she was the PA president of. And as I said, this is different from the borough president one, that you don't have to be a parent of that student or so forth. And then her other child, as I said, was in a B27 school. So, I mean, they're fielding multiple ones, it claiming for this application. There is a first round that just makes sure that you're a DOE person, that you are eligible parent, you have a kid in the system, that there's no outstanding part. But remember, after we send the recommendation, they still do the actual background check on the person. And at that point, any discrepancies like that may come up. So it's not necessarily that they're doing, this is something that we again can deliberate over based on
Okay.
what we were shared and received.
Okay, I do see.
I'm sorry, but we have to move on. It is 9:56 and we have to be out of this building at 10 o'clock. So I can't take any more comments. So let's give us 2 minutes while the council deliberate. So we're gonna mute on our end here. Natifa, can you put the breakout room? So please, all council members and Natifa, join the breakout room. We're gonna come back here at 9:59 or before that, please. So please hang tight. Natifa, are you creating a breakout room, Natifa? She is. Natifa is doing it already. Yeah. I think we don't know how someone. Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to move into an executive session.
Recording in progress.
Sorry, just as a matter of protocol, we do want to make a motion to go into executive session. Is there someone who seconds that motion?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Quentin. We don't need to do a roll call vote for that, or do we?
No. Because
Okay, so
minutes.
All right, so we're gonna be back in the room. Give us 2 minutes. Okay, everyone, you should still see the option to join the room if you were previously invited. Dorinda, do you see the option to join the room?
Okay, so at this point in time, the council has deliberated.
Okay.
We're back. Julie, the council has deliberated and we are back in session now with the public. So at this time, I'm going to do a roll call to decide on the seat that we need to fill for CEC28. So you are
I
voting.
make a motion to vote on the roll on the new candidate for CEC28.
I second that. Latifa, you want to roll call from there?
Okay.
Call me last.
Right. First
You
Vice
vote, you're gonna
President
say-
Luzao. I make a
Sorry,
mo,
One second. When there's two candidates, right? Tanya or Maureen?
Maureen.
Yeah, choose Tanya or Maureen, so then or tallies will be what needs to be, okay? Okay, so Latifa, go for it.
So I am going to call your name. Please state the name of the candidate you're voting for. First Vice President Luzao.
Tanya.
Second Vice President Narun Swapna.
Tanya.
Treasurer Yutao Chen.
Tanya.
I'm sorry.
Tanya.
Recording Secretary Natifa Lewis. Tanya. Member Julissa.
Tanya.
Member Jaylin.
Tanya.
Member Adriana Alicia.
Tanya.
Member Quentin Meziton.
Tanya.
Member Simone Donbar.
Tanya.
Member GK.
Tanya.
I believe and President Vijay Ramjatan.
Tanya.
Okay, I believe I got everyone. So by unanimous vote of all present, Tanya is the new member. Congratulations.
So want to thank you, Latifa. I want to thank both Maureen and Tanya for interviewing and for being present during this process here. Thank you for spending the time with us and showing your interest. And I'm sure this doesn't end your work in advocacy work, but it continues and from the sidelines as well. So Tanya, we want to welcome you to the council. We will be in touch with you in terms of next steps and what that looks like in terms of paperwork and getting cleared. And there's an oath and the whole nine. And we would love for you to be present at our next meeting in December. Yes, for the calendar meeting. So please, I'll be in touch with you. Can you take this number down, Tanya? 917-207-4655. And just give me a call and we can talk, okay? Now the world's gonna call me. Okay?
Yeah.
The time now is 10:06 p.m. and this business meeting is adjourned. Thank you all so much and good night. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Good night.
No,
Good night, everyone.
Stop the recording, please.
So I take my notes.
Everyone, can you please help carry the stuff inside? Please.